I fire you last week?
No. That's Shannon Allen.
Okay.
And welcome to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin in the game. We got Kevin Hastings, Dennis Davis, and the one and only Shannon Allen. I actually got his name today, so I was able to say hi to them. Eventually they'll get their mics on and we'll start talking. So there we are. Well, that's not my fault. I didn't either. No. I was not blaming y'all. I just got here. It's still early. Yeah. Oh, yeah, good luck with that. Oh, well, sure you will, Reverend. Terry is also here.
Special guest this morning, kicked Hunter out, kicked Tommy out, brought some reinforcements in, Terry, but they're not, Friday night is amateur hour, right? Oh, man. And Saturday morning's going to talk pros.
This is when the pros come in the house.
Say Ronaldo one time, just for these clowns.
The Ronaldo Automo postgame show.
Davis, good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Kevin.
Now you get a special treat today. You get Mitchem's Kitchen.
I had Mitchem's Kitchen last night. I was telling Terry.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, Carol's crowd catered our Christmas party last night. We had chicken pie, Salisbury steak, and all the accoutrements, Terry. So I'm cutting back to a biscuit. I've had 5 lunches this week and dinner, so I'm surprised I could get in this chair.
Well, there's no arms in it, so it's
that helps.
It's an open-ended chair.
Yeah.
Shannon Allen's in the house this morning. Shannon, good morning. From our Witherspoon Insurance pregame show and Shelby fan aficionado. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
What you gonna eat on this morning?
Chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich.
I'm just curious, Shannon. That bag says Huggies on it. I thought you'd brought some baby diapers.
God, I remember calling his commentary. It's 6 inches in front of it. He should. Hey, he heard us talking about the pros, on Saturday morning.
Well,
and the amateurs over here coming in the morning ready to get the heat. Will Boykins will be here just maybe. I don't know. He said he's going to be here too.
Well, it depends on whether he's got a hot customer to sell a car to.
Well, he told us that he was coming this morning no matter what, and he's going to stay with the guys. He's informed the guys over there at his work that he'll be a little late, so we'll see if that runs true. He's already 8 minutes of counting Terry on this business, on whatever you got this morning.
Well, now in Will's defense,
there is no
it's
defense.
foggy between here and there. So Terry, I don't know about over at West Lincoln, but coming over
the drive through the fog.
I'm trying to give the man some rope.
Not here.
He works at a car store. He's got 70 cars to choose from.
They won't let him drive any of those nice cars. He's got to come in that old truck of his,
Well, good morning, everybody. It's Mitchem's Kitchen Saturday Sports Talk with, coming up at the end of the show, we're going to move over into the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Like I said, Hunter's not here this morning. He's on special assignment. He's in Winston-Salem this morning. Maybe he'll give us a call on the road this morning, as well as Brent and Jeff and Steve Degree making the trip for the Shelby Golden Lights. Terry,
can you imagine being in that car this morning with those guys?
Could go right now. What is it? 6 out of the last 7?
6 of the last 7 years. Shannon, you weren't at the dinner the other night, but I gave Jeff what the award. His award this year was the longest road. Because year after year after year, Jeff, he thought he retired 7, 8 years ago, whatever, but whenever it was. And now he works longer than anybody else here at KTC, going through the.
Never have got off them sidelines.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, he's in the booth. Him and Brent are technically, I would say, counting football season, the last people who get home every year because we're already here. I'm not going to be there this year, and I usually beat them home anyway, so I'm out the stadium by the time before they get out. They got to walk around and shake hands and kiss babies and stuff after the championship.
Stars,
you know how that goes.
players,
And,
pat coaches on the back.
but I'm glad they're at Wake Forest this year. I like that stadium to play these games. Some of these bigger ones, I just don't think the venues are. Some of the venues have outgrown them. I think Carolina State have outgrown the amount of fans you can get in the stadium. With Wake, when they don't allow the upper deck, it's just lower. It almost looks full almost in some of those games, especially when the last Crest game I was at. That place was almost jam packed. UNC could be maybe a place they look forward in some of these. Any other suggestions? I think Duke's an even better idea. They're scared to come to Boone. I know they won't do that. Terry, the mountain teams have a better chance to come to Appalachian, Terry.
They don't want none of them
I
mountains.
think UNC Charlotte would be a great place.
Yeah.
We're
And
talking
regionally,
neutral.
Yeah.
Kevin. Neutral.
Is
neutral.
neutral.
Up in the mountains,
High
not
Point,
neutral.
High Point, the kind of place they have in High Point, I don't know if it's Central plays there or somewhere, they've got a really nice stadium.
I mean, a lot there's a lot of public universities that have that size of stadium.
This is where the school, not High Point University, this is like the high school, but it's like a big, it's like down in Northwestern, down in Rock Hill, you got this huge complex.
Gotcha.
and
Well, now they're
it's real
spending
nice.
about $10 million on Memorial Stadium over there, Terry. That might be a central location if Charlotte didn't want to do it at Jerry Richardson Stadium. So you've got all kinds of venues between here and there that you could. Pembroke maybe down there at their stadium.
Alright.
This would give the guys a chance to play in some of these different places. Although
Well, and then, look, Dennis, on that note, real quick, most of these guys are being recruited by those places rather than the Carolinas and the Dukes. Those kids have already been recruited.
Jack
So if you're
Hollifield,
going to the Charlottes and other stuff, this is a great chance for the smaller schools to see them right there.
Jack Hollifield is recruited by some very, very fine upper echelon universities. But by and large, Kevin, you hit it on the head. These are the Gardner Webbs, the UNCCs.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of UNCC, Terry, Trey Harbison is now a graduate student at UNCC, so he's back in the 704. And his uncle Charlie, who was at Appalachian, is now an assistant in Missouri, Kevin. And I guess if we'd probably drink a with $4 million a year, he might have stuck around.
Well,
Hey, here's Will.
Hey, we're going to talk about that in just a second as we introduce the show, folks. We're going to finish up the show today, like I said. We're going to preview all the high school stuff. I've got standings, I've got brackets, I've got power polls, I've got schedules. But we've got to eat some breakfast.
You got biscuits.
And Calvin and them's going to be on the road today. And Renato Automall, speaking of that, and they're going to give us some calls here throughout the hours of the morning because we're supposed to have a remote over there today. But because of the state championship, it's right in the middle of the day. So we're going to extend our hours out there. Calvin's going to give us some more details on that in just a little bit, how long they're going to be out there. And then also, they're going to have free lunch out there as well.
Well, I met Randy Davis.
So you
on the
folks
way
not
in.
making the ride, grab you a hot dog from Calvin in the game.
Randy's going to be over doing some Christmas parades, and the good Captain Ron is going to be doing a Shelby parade tomorrow, and I'll be in the parade, not representing the radio station.
Right.
But, be sure and wave. Say hello.
What are you going to be riding in?
I'll be riding in the little silver Porsche with a big red sign on the side.
What pageant did you win?
I live on pageant.
He's trying to figure out how you're getting out there in the parade.
This is my political
Okay,
side.
there
so
you
I was not going to say anything. But
Oh, that's why you're riding. I got you. Well, good morning, everybody. We're going to talk NBA, NCAA football, NCAA basketball, NFL, and Will, I don't know if you heard, Will, Gravy Biscuit is Andres.
Oh, 'cause you took it.
Gravy Biscuit is Andres. Andres, yeah.
Is it real?
Yeah, I texted you last night. Gravy Biscuit
You
for
never gave
Andre.
me nothing for him.
I just assume y'all talk every Saturday.
sorry about
Well,
that.
I don't know when Andre's getting here. You've already opened up. I'm just going to text Andre that
There we go.
breakfast is on himself this morning. Let's see, Terry. Just remind
No,
me. See, Terry's
I-
phones. Did
No.
you get your new phone?
No,
I'm
I
really-
ain't got anything to do with it.
Santa's gonna bring
What does
them
that say? What's the last text Terry right there say?
Andre, Gravy Biscuit.
Yeah, and I also
Me.
quote Kevin,
Sunrise
how many
Red.
people gonna be there?
No, you didn't. You put 1-1 as the only response I got. Will, you want to see the response? Did you understand? If you understand what Terry texted me, I didn't get no response from you, Terry. Look. You
I'm
forgot to
gonna
hit
sit
send.
here as this gets
You might
close
wanna
to
look at your
Christmas and
phone.
Keep my mouth shut.
You might want to look at your phone and make sure
That's all I'm
you didn't
gonna
get send. Terry,
do.
you
If this was in January, I would almost say
Listen.
something to him.
Terry,
Santa
there is
does not
no.
want you
let
to
me
be
pull your
upset.
Terry, pull your phone out and show me you sent me anything.
This is it.
And then if it didn't
It's
work, we'll
Christmas
call
time.
Verizon and we'll get this settled between while our
If
texts
you
start
have
going back and
nothing
forth.
good to say, don't say nothing at all.
Terry,
I just asked you to do that.
you
Why you let Will take Andre's biscuit?
There we go.
you did an excellent job on my bacon, egg, and cheese.
Will, how is Andre's gravy biscuit?
Andre's gravy biscuit is great. I think it's even better because I know it's Andre.
There you go. That's it.
There you go.
If Andre, if you're eating, I'm texting you right now. Don't text and drive. So good morning, everybody. We've got all kinds of things to talk. Will, I don't know if you was listening, but I was welcoming amateur hour over here to the morning pros, because we talk pros here and not amateur sports like we do on Friday. So Terry's ready to put them in the hot seat on some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dennis, what we do normally for the new folks that come in the mornings, we let them tell about their favorite teams, introduce themselves, so when we start talking, we can make fun of them and laugh at them and see which bias they are. Obviously, Shannon has a Clemson hat on if you're watching online. Wave Shannon.
Way to go, Shannon.
He's right there in front of the Duke shirt, Dr. J and Rasheed Wallace jerseys, and I even put him in the seat. If he sits right, the Shelby Golden line is right over his ear right there, folks. You watch it on the other side, Shannon. The other side. That side. Check your 5 o'clock. There you go. Will Boykins just walked in the house. He's our resident Packers fan and Gravy Biscuit. Gravy Biscuit stealing.
Gravy biscuit stealing. Son of a gun.
Instead of the ham, what's a good word? Instead of the hamburger, you're the
Biscuit burger.
the gravy burger, the biscuit burger. Yeah. So Shannon, who are also your favorite teams? If you're a Carolina Panthers fan, I know. What about? Do you have a basketball and college team? College and NASCAR? If you like NASCAR, any of that?
Not really big on
Wrestler, any of that? Whoever's your favorite team.
Listen, I love college basketball. I really like, I guess I won't say Clemson, but I any ACC school. I don't have a really favorite one. I just like watching them play. I like watching the kids playing the right way. Like Virginia last year. You got to be a fan of them. But as far as like maybe Major League Baseball, you guys like the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So, even though
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Hey, it's mandatory. You're in the South.
I've got a
That
fun.
means nothing.
TBS.
Before our next break, I got a fun little exercise we're gonna play. Go ahead, Dennis.
Oh, it's been a tough year, guys. I even got an anonymous letter yesterday. I hate to bring it up. It's in the car, but it's marked return address Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Biden, a whole bunch of guys. And inside of it was nothing, Shannon, but clippings out of the newspaper about Carolina lawsuits. Terry, I appreciate you sending it. Thank you.
That's awesome.
It was,
That's a nice little prank there. Isn't it?
but I'm a Carolina fan, which is,
That's how come
you
we
know,
don't allow men here on Saturday night.
oh, eat your pancakes. To make it even worse, I'm a Panthers fan who could be worse. I could be a Browns or Cowboy
Two
fan.
strikes against you.
That's tough.
Wait a minute. The Panthers have a worse record than the Browns and the Cowboys.
The Panthers have an excuse. The Browns and Cowboys don't have an excuse. They're just
Yeah.
What? We're gonna get to that in a minute. Keep going here.
Browns have
Oh,
no
it-
excuse.
What are you talking about?
They have no excuse.
Rookie coach ain't no excuse.
No.
What?
And it's
You don't
Shannon.
get that excuse.
I'm
We'll get to that in a minute.
Braves
Go
fan.
ahead.
There you go.
So Braves for dinner.
Yeah,
All right.
sign Josh Thomas.
Will, you don't
please.
understand how this works. Okay, we got time. We got to take a break. Now, who else? You said Braves,
Braves.
Tar Heels,
And the Panthers.
well, Panthers. What about before the Panthers come here, Dennis? You're older than 25 years old.
I hate to. Well, thank you, Kevin.
I
I'm
tell you.
socks older than you. I hate to admit it, but
So you're one of them bandwagon jumpers.
No. When
He's a
Jerry
political
Jones
man-
came to
political
town and
junker.
fired the man, Tom Landry,
Okay.
I
Oh,
said,
so you're
he's an old
I'm
cowboy
through.
man.
You're Kevin
Oh,
Hastings.
no.
Kevin Hastings. Oh man, that's a low
Jerry,
blow.
well, yes, Jerry Jones has betrayed the team
Yes.
a few times. Terry.
There's no way you can be a true fan.
If
All right,
Jerry
next.
would fire
Next.
himself, the Cowboys.
All right, JP. It's time for our first break. You ready? Now, did Calvin explain to you how we're taking the commercials this morning? Yes. What are you eating this morning?
2 bowls of grits.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, that's what it, yeah, okay. Well, folks, we're having breakfast from Mitchem's Kitchen, 704-276-1155. Give them a call today. They've got a little bit of everything, don't they, Terry?
A little bit of everything.
Every type of, like, basically animal that you eat. They've got a chicken, pig, cow, all that, Terry, fish, a little bit of everything. All right, folks, give them a call today. I'm having a sunrise special. We'll have Andre's Gravy Biscuits.
Thanks, that's right.
Shannon with the chicken biscuit.
You late, you lose.
Dennis, the bacon, egg, and cheese, and JP didn't have one; he had 2.
And guess what? He's
Bowls
eating
of
on
grits.
this before Andre gets
Well,
here.
that explains that grit eating grin.
Is that what it is? That greedy. Terry, what you asked for?
The second. Liver brush and bologna on a bun.
All right, folks, we'll be back in a few minutes on KTCBroadcaster.com.
Gets up for the early shift, while Brad is just getting home from the night shift. Pam runs a PR and a 5K, while Drew runs late to work. Beth proposes a road trip to her boyfriend, while Mark proposes to his girlfriend. Luckily, there's a McDonald's for every morning.
Start your morning with a rich, smooth, and freshly brewed McCafe coffee. And now, get any size for just $1 at McDonald's. Limited time offer. Price of participation may vary. A la carte only.
Need a licensed electrician to service your home? Give us a jingle, or just use this one. You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8 Sparky. For local pros, call Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? Give us a jingle, or just use this one. You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8 Sparky. For local pros, call Mr. Sparky.
Do you have a wet basement or a wet crawl space? How about mold and mildew? Neeline Co. Moisture and Water Control can help control moisture in your home to keep safe from fungal growth, mold colonization, and its destruction. Neeline Co. proudly serving the Carolinas. Call Neeline Co. today at 1-888-7-The-Web for a free estimate and get $25 off any new service. Again, that number is 1-888-7-The-Web for Neeline Co. Moisture and Water Control. For your championship holiday meal, head to Where's Supermarket at Broad River Hams in Shelby. Check out the great buys this week, like standing rib roast, only $5.99 a pound. Bacon wrapped fillets, just $5.99 each, all month long. Where's Supermarket at Broad River Hams has great prices on their Broad River honey glazed hams, ready to eat. And be sure to pick up your Christmas tree. All sizes and shapes. They're Mountain. Right now, pay 0 get 0%.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk / pregame show. They're talking sports first. Pregame will be afterwards. So. Y'all there? We're there. Yeah, you're always. It's always a joy for me. Yeah, always. Our deacon, Will Boykins, is speaking. Yeah.
As always, we'll just go over and bring the microphone, his hat, everything over there. See inside that nice gold Chevy helmet. Lines, make another trip to championship. I guess the Cooper over there next to Shannon. It's just something over there. You'll see you. Super.
You should have put it dead center in the desk. Right up front. I was talking about in front of your computer.
Gone.
He might too. He might.
I just wanted to let you know that it was not my fault because I walked in and I said, "Is this mine?" And they said, "Yes."
Yes.
So I started eating.
You're exactly
And
right.
then,
You did well.
Now,
after I started eating, he announced that it was your
now,
birthday.
wait a minute. When he said, if he admitted to yes, then 100% that's on him because he knows I didn't. We just talked about it in the break.
Well,
He
but I
knows.
figured he didn't know
knows
Andre and
that
Will
I
did.
didn't mention you, and he knows I mentioned Andres. He knew those were Andres biscuits and still told you yes. So ha! It's kind of on me, but it's not.
This is between Cherry and Andre.
All right, a little bit coming up after the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to talk high school football. We've got standings, polls, maybe a little bit before, but Will's in the house. We're going to talk a little. Now, we're going to talk NCAA football. We're going to talk a little bit of NCAA everything because we don't have that. We don't have any games or anything really this weekend. But Terry,
You got Army
while
Navy.
you and Shannon,
Yeah, you got Army Navy.
Yeah.
You got the,
okay. Let's.
And nobody will bow a knee in that.
Oh, absolutely.
And what we're gonna do is break down the game of the 78th best teams in the nation and see who gets the trophy for the 78th best team. Is that what y'all want to do, Army Navy? It'd be better if they got the weapons on the field and played with stats somehow. Paintball. Would y'all not rather see Army Navy
why
paintball?
in the world would you mess with an American classic like that?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying you're giving a
That
trophy
is
to
None
the
of these other
78th
teams,
best
that's
team.
why they play on a
70
Saturday by themselves.
78th best teams in the nation. Congratulations, guys.
Because if you put
I'm not
weapons
throwing
in
them
there,
under the bus. I'm
everybody
throwing
else
all
runs.
the bowls under the bus, if you don't understand what I mean by that. I'm throwing all the bowls under the bus. But while y'all were down the hall, Terry was throwing someone else under the bus. He wanted to talk about college basketball. And Terry, you want to repeat all the stuff you had to say to
All I
Dennis?
had to do is say, Will, well, you was going to say, I'm getting ready to call you Andre too, see? That's how it works. But anyway, is
Eat his biscuit. I
Carolina,
can call it what he wants. I guess.
Carolina, and Tar Heel fans have to understand, I'm not, well, probably one of my top bottom teams on my list, but they are very overranked. Anthony cannot score 30 points every game. It was all about Anthony in game one when he scored
17th in the
30
nation.
some, and now they're hitting the bottom. They've fallen out because, I mean, another loss, and they're not even going to be, well, they'll fall to 20th and then to 25th. It'll take them 3 weeks to get out of there. That's 6 and 5 if they lose their next two. But they're going to struggle. I mean, you know, the big guy went down, and that's going to hurt. Yeah, but you cannot depend on Anthony. When Anthony come there, and to me, and I'm going to say this about the ACC, Carolina, Virginia, neither one of them teams have somebody they can score. Carolina does have Anthony, but he cannot do it by himself. That's the reason these teams, if you like the elite of the ACC, they are not the elite team.
And that's now. You think, give them a couple months.
Give them a couple months.
Yeah, give them a couple months.
I mean, then you're NCAA ineligible because you don't have
No,
enough wins.
they'll get the wins, but when they get to that point, when it's tournament time,
Put in
that's when
the-
they turn it on. That's when
You
it
wanna talk
goes
about
nice.
that?
Carolina's got to struggle to get through the ACC.
Terry. After tonight, North Carolina will be
Who's this?
undefeated. Undefeated
Yes, this is the radio station.
in the gym that they're playing in tonight.
I was getting ready to say
Carolina.
because they're not going to be undefeated in the ACC.
I mean, they played
Yes, they'll be broadcasting it today.
Carolina.
They'll be broadcasting it today. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's neat playing those old gyms. Did over Fetzer and there's another one over there. I can't remember that we played in.
Okay.
Yes, I do remember that name.
Okay. I wonder.
Playing all this. I think I did. I think I got in trouble with Henry Lapson. Nah, that was totally on first group. Is it on the Nintendo? I feel like that. We all.
I would know that.
Another thing's got to score Carolina.
Is there anything
Carolina-
else?
They're left right now.
Not highly loaded, but when is the last time that you've done Carolina to score less than 50 consecutive games? Now, I have to say, I'm partial
many is
went in at like 40 something.
how
44,
many is a couple?
Like 44. North Carolina State went over to Carolina, held them to almost nothing.
I
Set the
grew up-
record over there at the Smiths.
I grew up a Duke fan when Big Boobas was there. Then in coaching college ball, I got to know Coach Smith, and Roy Williams was my roommate at one time in the summer at the camps and everything. And so it's a situation, where I converted over to being a Carolina fan. I knew football guys and basketball guys.
You better for it.
They ran a class program, and the point of all this is, I don't care if you're Crest or Shelby or West Lincoln, you're going to have good years and bad years based on your talent. But now look at the recruiting class, Terry, for Carolina next year.
We talking about next year? Oh, that's what y'all tell me about
That's
teams
the-
I pull.
That's the famous last words for
Next
NC
year?
State
Wolfpack's
every year.
on
Is
fire
wait till
right
next
now.
year. Wait till next year.
Yeah. See, Carolina will score 18 points against us in the whole first half. 28 total, which made a total of 46. I missed it by 2. I knew it was low. And they scored 47 against
2015, NC State beat North Carolina 58-46.
Well, Terry,
18 points in the first half from the Tar Heels.
your coach was down in some familiar territory the other night recruiting. But I think the last good player from there, one went to Carolina and the other went to Duke. So I won't tell you it was Kinston who was that recruiting the other night. But, good luck with that. Maybe you can pay them $40,000 or something, get them to Raleigh.
one and done player.
That's the
That's
difference.
not Carolina way.
Well,
One and done
let me
player.
ask you too something. Looking at these, these coaches at what, at some point, there's not going to be a Coach K coaching at Duke and
No.
Roy at Dean. And Roy at Dean Smith Center.
Yeah.
Roy is 69 years old.
Yeah.
Krzyzewski's 72. At what point do you make enough money and retire, just be happy and watch basketball on TV?
No, if you ever.
If it's not about money, then they can coach for $1 million
Right.
to 9 though.
No, but
If it's not about money-
it is not. It is not about the money.
That's-
if you've ever coached, it's not about the money.
Well, Coach K's making
Then why
$9
don't
million
Coach
a year.
K coach UNC Charlotte for $1 million a year and help out people that need it?
Well, think
If
of
it's
it
not
on the
about the
other
money.
end. If you are a great coach, your assistants do 95% of the job.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they don't get paid enough.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, all you have to do is be there. Your name, you win. Everything goes to your credit, and your assistant coaches that are doing all the work. But they're going to show you. They're going to show you every time they come on television. They're not showing them assistant coach who's helping this guy. And those might be
at
the key
at
players.
what point do you just
Oh no, that without a doubt, I guarantee you the coaching staff as a whole, you got to have a great coaching
You do.
staff.
A head coach is
And-
only
and
as good as the
Dennis,
assistant.
Dennis, on the political side of it, though, how much money do we keep paying in pensions to all these football and basketball coaches? I mean, Roy keeps coaching and coaching and coaching until he's however so old. I mean, Coach K's in a private school,
Well,
so that's totally different on that. So you look at Dabo down here. He's got $450,000 in bonuses this year. 100 players on his team. That's $4,500 a player. Would they do better with $4,500 extra in their pocket, or Dabo $400,000 on top of $9 million
But
that he's getting from a
a
public
lot of that
university?
money goes back into various charities and organizations.
Dabo's $9 million.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Let's talk about Appalachian for a minute. Coach Drinkowitz was there 1 year.
Is
for
a
the state.
two-faced trader
And
who used
these
the same
weren't even his
speech.
players, Terry. He was making $750,000 a year, which I thought was pretty dang good. His
The
assistants,
golf
made
coach in Tennessee makes $600,000.
his assistants were making 160. So you're the guy now who went from assistant at 160. I hope they're paying him 750. But look what Drinkowitz did. Drinkowitz is making 450 at Missouri. But then they give him all the, the coach shows, the different things. He's making, for 6 years, Will, it's almost as much as the radio station here, $4 million a year. Plus he gets 2 courtesy cars. He gets his family to fly on the charter plane to all the games. He gets a suite at the football games, Terry. and he gets 4 front row seats at the basketball games. That's not including all the other stuff that the community gives him. Goes to buy a suit. Keep your money, coach. Eats at a restaurant. No bill tonight. It's almost as good as working for Cat. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. And you can't say it's a football decision. If it's that is a strictly for money situation.
And
Missouri,
it's about.
Missouri is not a good football school.
Oh, he'll be out of a job in
It is
3 years.
100% money. In fact, I would say Appalachia could beat Missouri. Looking at their schedule, they may even have a better record than Missouri did this year in the SEC. Looking at their schedule and who beat them and who went against them this year.
Well, the one thing I will say for Missouri in the buyout clause, the coach that they just let go, Odom, he could buy out his contract for the $450,000 base salary. Drinkowitz will have to pay the whole package to get out of that Missouri job. But what will happen is they'll probably get rid of him and Terry. When they get rid of him, he collects 70% of the $24 million. I mean, that's where your money's going, boosters.
Well, and with Dabo in the way they get these, and Coach K and Roy get the same thing too, Dennis, is this not basically legalized gambling? Now follow me here. Hold on, wait a minute. If Coach K has a bonus or Dabo has a bonus, hold on. I said follow me, Will. You're not even looking at me. Because Terry don't agree with any of this at all.
He already knows that. Yes.
If Dabo wins with the last game they won, he got a $100,000 bonus. If he lost, he wouldn't have got a $100,000 bonus. So going into that game, all these kids worked hard this week, did their push-ups. They got to eat the ramen noodles and their chicken tenders. There's a stack of cash on the field, $100,000. Dabo, you get that joker, y'all win today. But the kids don't get a dime of it. They don't get nothing of it. If they lose, Dabo don't get it. And the boosters just keep it. So all of those bonuses he's already signed a $9 million deal.
Yeah.
So he's now betting with his boosters. They either keep $100,000 and they go have a big party, or he gets $100,000.
Well,
is that not gambling? I mean, we're just playing this game.
Like
all right, first of all, those kids do not eat Roman noodles.
No.
Okay.
They do get a meal
very, very
and a laundry
well.
allowance.
Sure.
I promise you, they eat.
Are you
very well.
arguing that all the players are well fed in America in colleges? All of them. If you
Not
are,
every
that's not
college
right.
is equal.
That's not right.
Not every college is
Exactly.
equal.
And that's another thing, Dennis. If all the scholarships are equal, if everything's equal, everybody gets a scholarship, why is the Duke and the North Carolina scholarship, they're different? How much is out of state tuition at Duke? It's like $70,000. So if I choose to go to UNCC, why can't I pay my $10,000 to go to UNCC and pocket my $60,000 and do whatever I want with it? Buy all the ramen noodles I want at UNCC.
Look, when Roy Williams took the job at Carolina, I had another friend, Terry Childress, was over at Duke. You paid assistant coaches what the tuition was at the school. Terry at that time got like $35,000. Roy got like $5,000. Roy had to, listen to this, he had to, those calendars that you've got?
Mm-hmm.
He was the sales guy for the calendars. And the Dean Smith show that was on the great TV stations in Asheville, Greensboro, Wilmington, and Chapel Hill, Roy had to get up on Sunday mornings and drive to all those stations to deliver the film back in those days, and Coach Smith paid him $500 for that. So he was working for peanuts. Now he's turned those peanuts into some huge rewards these days, but back in the day, assistant coaches got peanuts. Like when I was an assistant coach in college, I didn't work for the college. I couldn't afford to. I worked for the summer camp as a year-round employee and got paid that way because they could do me better. I still taught in the public schools during the day, and then 3 o'clock, bing, I became a college coach because the money was so poor for assistant coaches. An assistant football coach at Gardner Webb at those days, Terry, got $8,000 a year and had to teach 2 classes.
Guess how much the strength and conditioning coach at Alabama makes?
Probably $1 million.
$800,000 to teach kids how to do push-ups and squats.
But guess how much Coach Saban makes?
About 8, 9 million, like the rest of
About
like
10.
Dabo. And remember, public universities. So when you teachers go on strikes asking you legislators for money, there's $9 million going to Dabo's Sweeney. They want to march that down Dabo's house.
None of that. You do
Don't say
not.
It's not
you
say
do-
money.
That
Sure.
is funded by
Yeah.
by
But
the
it's public universities, y'all. There's money being funneled all around. They're not.
But it's
They're
booster
paying
club
themselves
money.
and each other money. It's all
It's the Rams Club.
It's all people in charge handing each other money while the players are.
And when they fire a guy, the payoff comes from the booster club, not the school budget. Anyway,
Not the endowment.
in other words, the
Now-
athletic department doesn't pay, that 70% of the $4 million a year like Coach Drinkowitz if they fire him. The booster club at Missouri, I don't know what they are, the Mules or whatever, but anyway, they'll pay.
Mules.
Tigers.
You never heard of me as stubborn as a Missouri Mule? Come on.
But then it's Tigers.
They are the Tigers.
Tigers.
The baby Tigers.
Wait a minute, that's Clemson. No, that's LSU.
No,
Wait a minute.
that's LSU.
There's Tigers all over the place.
So on the the name image likeness thing that they're going with the players thing, and everyone keeps talking about, well, the big guys are going to be are going to benefit the most. Well, I argue, Dennis, sometimes that two things: the big athletes will get big endorsements, but Trey Harvey's over at Charlotte. Renato Automall could sponsor him for some stuff. The small kids. Like wrestlers over at West Lincoln, small town kid could be. He makes it big, goes to college. He could be sponsored by a local dealership.
I'm not picking on Terry, but David Thompson, a Crest graduate, you may have heard of that. He went to NC State. He used to work camps in the summer for me. David drove a brand new Pontiac Grand Prix, red and white at the time. I drove an old Chevrolet pickup truck. I couldn't afford to buy a Grand Prix at the time. How did he get one? But I'm not picking on David. Some booster, just like at Carolina, Duke, or anywhere else. And then after the game, Kevin, did you ever used to get one of those when you were quarterbacking, those $100 handshakes?
No.
You know we got $100.
The kids always line
Oh
up.
yeah, that is right.
We read the option.
You went to
Kids line up.
You went to Spencer said that he didn't go to Chris.
So
He
you
would
want
not
to be
have
putting on the table instead of just hey
No,
guys.
no. As
Hey,
a matter
but
of fact,
my point is that the small town people are willing to pay all types of money to sponsor these kids. So it's not just going to be the kid at LSU, the Burrows that are going to make money. Yeah, he'll make some good money. But the small town kids, the Chasserats or whoever that goes in, or the Trey
Chasserat's gonna make plenty of.
Well, you don't have to. I'm
He don't have to sell 90s either.
I'm using examples. Yeah, he's selling $350 for that. But all these other kids that go to these other colleges, these other small businesses are going to be more than happy to sponsor them in some type of a way and put them in commercials and other things like that. Well, also, real quick, the other thing as far as the big guys doing it, Harvard's endowment is $31 billion.
yeah.
If they want to have a good football program and you start paying players, Harvard will have the best football program. It's not that hard to put, and that's what they're not thinking. They're thinking, well, NC State and Carolina, they're going to be in the Alabamas. You can start out paying the guys. You can start hey, we'll just pay that guy more.
But
And that would be a lot easier through that. And that would allow programs that aren't that good now to be better. They can get to better players.
But things are not always up here. Carol McRae, the former coach at Gardner Webb who just got laid off, and Charlie Harbison is coming back coaching for him. But Carol McRae's a great fella, a great coach, but he only has about 30 scholarships, and he's playing people, with 50 and 60 scholarships. So how do you compare apples to oranges in the college ranks? If you're going to pay a team like UNC Charlotte, who maybe has 65 or 70 scholarships, you've got to give your coach the materials. I mean, you're an athlete, Jerry, and you come into NC State, and they show you what all they can do and where you're going to live and what you're going to have to work with.
You take a taxi cab immediately out of town.
And you go to Boiling Springs to Gardner Webb, which is a fine university. You'll get a great education, and you'll have a half a scholarship and student loans. What's fair about that? You go to Appalachia, it's a great school. We turn out great scholars like Kevin. And we turn out championship football teams. When they went to Michigan and beat Michigan, Kevin, which one of those athletes do you think could say, well, I had to choose between Michigan and Appalachian because Appalachian offered me more? No. Appalachian lives off the kids from
Well,
small
at that
schools
time,
and small
well, at that
towns.
time in 1AA, we got a lot of transfers from
Yeah.
other schools because you can freely transfer that. And then you also got some of the, I think the academic is less in that, and I'm not sure, but we did get a ton of transfers. We pretty much free.
Well, let's don't
transfer
talk about transfers, or we'd have to talk about the portal, and that'll take up the whole morning.
Well, yeah, it probably would. So anyway, what will?
Will's transferring to another radio station.
I just sit back and think, and I ain't said a word, but this is my deal. When you go into college, they give you everything you need.
Yeah.
And when you put on a jersey, it might not be the same jersey you wore in high school. It might be a different jersey. That's a number. And then when I hear guys saying, "Oh, you're praising me," no, we're not praising you. We gave you a number. You have to promote yourself, and we're going to help you by putting you on national television where everybody can see you. You show your stuff. That's going to help you in your long term of getting into the NFL when you can put your name on the back of your jersey where everybody knows who you are. Those are the things that make me mad. I'm not promoting anything. I give you a number to play in college, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, I need some of that money." No, that number changes when you leave. Somebody else picks up number 8. You had it then, now somebody else has got it. So I'm not promoting that number, and those are the things that bother me. You're not getting paid for that stuff. I'm giving you everything you need, plus a college education. When you do not make it in the NFL and your season only lasts 2 or 3 years, you've got something else to fall back on because that did not work for you, or you got injured, etc. That might happen.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Let me comment on what Terry just said. I'll give you a personal example. Brandon Spikes played football with Chris. Highly recruited. I set Brandon Spikes down in the locker room at the YMCA in Shelby. And I told him, "Brandon, I don't care where you go, but what you do is wherever you go, you get an education. Because you're going to be doing something else a lot longer than you're playing football. You could get injured. You could take out a knee in that first game. You could do something else." Brandon went to the University of Florida, an All-American, drafted by the New England Patriots, played there, played at Buffalo. He's now living in Charlotte in Florida. Brandon doesn't have to work every day because he used his education to take care of his money. And a lot of these guys in the NFL, Terry, you know it, 2 years and they're broke and they had millions of dollars. It's what you get from college is an education. So many of our athletes don't take advantage of what they're handed. Terry, you went to college. Did they offer to come in and pay your tuition every quarter? Did they offer to put you up in room and board and feed you? No.
I want to tell you something too, and I'm gonna put a little guy on the spot. This is a running back that played for Alabama.
Terry's fault he's not.
Yeah.
Football.
Well, yeah. Well, you're right. You're right.
Okay. He is an academic guy.
But here we go. When this guy was in college, played for Alabama, and I ain't gonna say names, but he made it at his big time, made it into the NFL, and when he got there, there's kids standing in a row. He's playing for Tennessee. They're coming down the aisle. He's not signing any kid's autograph or anything. He's walking on by like I'm nobody. This individual that stood over to the side and hollered at him, said, "Look, young man, in college you were top notch. Here you're even with everybody else. Everybody out there is as good as you. Understand what these young kids are wanting from you." And he kept on walking. Those are the problems I have. Understand who you are. Just on account of you top notch in college don't mean you're one of the top notch guys when you get to NFL. Because half of the guys who make it, some of us were All-Americans and they become just a regular player in the NFL.
In a not for long league.
Yes.
Oh, Terry, I'll throw this in too. I've known a lot of famous athletes over the years, and I won't call a name, but this guy signed the largest contract in professional sports in history to that time. And when he went out to his team to play, he took his high school buddy, his cousin. He bought mama this, that, and the other. And even though he had the largest contract in history at that time, he ended up broke because he stuffed most of that up his nose.
But why do y'all care what a grown man does with his own money? That's the whole point. Every single one of y'all is picking out, not Will or whoever. Every person is against college athletes. Every person is against these college athletes or NFL players getting paid too much, or NBA players getting paid too much. Why do you care what a 19, 20-year-old adult person gets paid? The only place in America that you can work all these hours and everyone around you is getting paid is college basketball and college football. And then they're the only
college baseball.
They're the only ones also that, and in women's basketball, that put a restriction on going pro. College baseball don't put a restriction on original. You can go pro straight out of high school. But think about it. Women's basketball, men's basketball, and men's football are the only ones that do not allow you to go pro directly out of high school. Which sports does the NCAA make money at? The 100th person on Clemson doesn't think about all the work they do in practice. They'll never touch the field. They'll never do anything, and they don't. And Dabo over here is getting $100,000 bonus for all the work that I did this week, and he's already got a $9 million. Take your contract. But the thing about the paying the players, and I know Terry's against it, and it's not that. This is a weird kind of conversation we have with Hunter in it. Do y'all not believe there should be another league like in baseball? There's 20. How many 1A, 2A, 3A? There's independent leagues. All these other ways a person can make money besides being in Major League Baseball, playing baseball. But there's not in basketball and football. There's that. There's that. Yes, Dennis. But that's part. Europe. Well, why is there not one in America? So they try the XFL and all these other things. There should be another place that football players can go and make. If you want to make $50,000 a year playing football, why does that bother someone? If I want to make $50,000 a year playing football, I should. And to pay these kids what they make on the field and what they make from the schools, I don't see as a problem them making $10 or $15, $20 extra $1,000 to help. Now, and I like to bring up Terry in the wrestling situation. It's not just the football players that are poor. There's all these other poor kids that play other sports.
Yeah.
So when you got a wrestler from West Lincoln that gets really good, and he goes to NC State or somewhere to wrestle, and Abernathy Chevrolet wants to pay him extra money, that helps his family instead of them not being able to go and watch their games. Then that kid can. Why couldn't Abernathy or someone pay Terry Jr. and their family to sponsor and be an ad so they can afford to go watch these games and go to their games?
But Kevin, a lot of athletes do. Will and I know some track and field athletes. Now those athletes are making six figures a year.
Well, now why are not the football and basketball players allowed to? Because the NCAA don't make money on the track. Think about it, Dennis. It's all about the money that they're making, the big men, the money. The only reason the Power 5, the way they do the rankings and everything else, it's all about that. And they're not going to give. It's like playing Monopoly. When does the Monopoly guy ever give the guys who own the first two? What's the first two crappy places? Just keep giving them money until they buy Parkway off of it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they just you pay them millions of dollars. You pay whatever you can afford. These schools have the money, but to me, if there was another option, it would be more fair that the college could keep their model. If there was an XFL, or 2 or 3 leagues like baseball, you've got all these people that can make $50,000 a year playing basketball or football. There's a ton of people that can play basketball that are good at basketball that don't play it and get paid for it.
And I see your point, and I'm arguing what Terry and I are saying is there's a lot of kids playing today in a state championship game that will never set foot on a football field again. Enjoy the opportunity. Those of you that get to play,
they're underage. They're under 18. I'm talking about grown men.
Hold on, Kevin.
Yeah, college kids. Take the word kids out of the college.
I used to tell the kids at school.
They're not kids in college. They're grown adults.
You'd ask kids, "What are you going to do?" I'm going to play in the NBA.
If you get stabbed by an 18-year-old, if you get stabbed by Brandon high school at 19 years old, you won't inside as an adult.
Out of the 4,000 athletes the one out of 4,000 that gets to go to college. How many make the team? How many get drafted? How many become the next Michael Jordan? So when a high school kid's sitting there and he tells me I'm going to be the next Michael Jordan making a gazillion $1 million a year, I say, son, your chances of becoming a brain surgeon are better.
Yeah, it's already documented. NBA has how many kids come straight out of high school into the college. There's very few LeBron James, Sean Kemps, etc.
But you're against them doing it?
No, even Kobe Bryant took him 3 years before Kobe knew who he was.
But are you against them being paid
Because
for that?
no,
You don't have to come and being a star. What I'm saying is Kobe and LeBron, who cares if you know who you are, Terry?
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
You want them to be stars at
70% of them
19 in
guys
college.
never made it in the NBA on account of they did that.
Because
If there was another option, they could have been paid somewhere else.
Yes. If what I was saying, if you're
Or they could have went and got the knowledge of the sport and played 4 years and got some
Because
education.
it's
You
kind
could
of
have.
hard.
But that's the decision you make.
When you
What if
turn 18,
could have?
Will,
What if
Listen,
you're not smart enough to have the money?
here's my thing.
Some people
For
can't get into
someone
college.
who has to pay for college, I'm paying for my son's college. To me, my son is a college kid. He's my kid. He's a college kid because I pay his bills. Everything he eats, I pay for.
How old is it?
He's 19.
And if you murder someone, he's going to jail as an adult.
But he is.
You can look at my kid all you want.
He's still my kid.
That's your kid, but the law doesn't look at it that way.
So,
The world
You
doesn't
said-
look
but-
at it that way.
but being an adult is more than just being at a certain age. A lot of people that are 18, 19 are not mature enough to even, they don't have maturity. Sometimes when crimes happen like that, when courts look at what is his mental maturity, they go by his mental state. So a lot of things that comes along with these 18, 19-year-old football, you can't if they're not mature enough to handle, even if college did pay them. I'm not against college paying.
Okay, you would be against a player working a part-time job, right? You're making $20,000
I'm not.
So why would you be against someone getting paid doing push-ups and doing sprints? That's a part-time job.
I am not against college. I'm not against college paying the kids. But I'm also not against the college making the kids pay their tuition if they're paying. You give, you take. You know, I think it's dumb for the kids that play football not to be able to get a job. The college kids, not for them not to be able to get a job.
I think that's the argument, Will,
but
on the
the
timing thing that I'm trying to make. Is
the NCAA has put in a rule about
English and biology.
But about 3 or 4 years ago, the NCAA came in and put in a rule where these guys, if they play a sport, whether they're your headliner or whether they're one of your practice guys, every one of them is supposed to eat free now. Because the kids it was a time where those kids was playing college ball and they wasn't eating. They didn't get the tuition, the scholarship didn't include their
room and
board and their meals, the meal, whatever it's called. So now that they have to feed these guys now, so they came in and cleaned up some things. So get back, is it perfect? No, because
there's loopholes. What time do Lakers games go off at night? Now, 2:00. But roughly 1:00 in the morning. Well, how long does the cafeteria stay open in most places? Does it close before midnight? So people are awake at times after 9:00. I mean, I was in college. Cafeteria's closed at 9, and then not every college is like that. But there's different timings, different things, and there's so many loophole things to talk about. They're going to start allowing you to do the sponsorship basically thing in certain states right now, where you can Ronaldo can sponsor someone or Mitchem's can sponsor someone to be in commercials. They're going to start doing that and allowing that. It's a matter of how they're going to. The NCAA is trying to be the sheriff on it, of course, as well.
Kevin, let me compare this to politics. If I run for an office and I have a campaign finance report, you can look and see everybody that gave me over $50. So if KTC Broadcasting gave me the maximum of $5,200 a year, you can see right there the influence of that. All right, if these kids are going to play for, KTC Broadcasting, do like NASCAR. Put a little patch on them. sponsored by KTC Broadcast, if that's what you want.
I'm not saying on the field. I'm saying like commercials and stuff. That's what I'm talking. That's what they're talking about. Is I could put Chaz or someone in a commercial on TV and say, watch KTC Broadcast. Tar Heel. I watch Tar Heel basketball, Chaz Stratton, KTC, or football, Chaz Stratton, Tar Heel basketball. That's what they're talking about.
They
But-
do that already.
No, you can't. They don't. No, you can't come up there. There's a bunch of rules. You can't come up there with the Tar Heel in their name. And there's a lot of commercials. ESPN can use some of that stuff for their
Yeah,
purposes.
but-
But actual car dealerships, stuff like that, can't run commercials.
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff.
I get what you're saying now.
Like we
Same
can
because-
say, yeah, watch it, but like the car, like you guys couldn't say, hey, you could put billboards with Chaz on it wearing a Tar Heel jersey.
Right,
You can't do that. But that's what they're talking about being able to do.
But
not
that
on the
money-
field. They're not talking about doing on the
But
field.
that money that ESPN pays to the schools, yeah, the coach gets a big chunk of it, but a lot of that money goes to provide those athletic dormitories, those athletic scholarships, pays that tuition.
All right, Dennis, let me give you some math on this.
Yeah.
Dabo Sweeney. Let's talk about just percentage. In the NFL, I think the NFL players get 45, 50% of the, or 55, or maybe even over 50% of the revenue.
Kevin, before you go into
Yes, sir.
you want to make sure we on our break schedule, right?
Yeah, JP's giving me hand signals. Y'all don't want to know what he just gave me.
You're number one.
Right, he gave me the number one signal. So, Dabo makes $9 million. NFL, he gets 50-50. I'm proposing, and that's just on revenue. What if you just did 10% on the coach? Let's say Dabo gives up $900,000. He's still making $8.1 million. Now, where would that $900,000 go between 100 players? Do the math, that's $9,000 a player. That's all I'm asking. That's for the national champion. $9,000 extra a year. All I gotta do is take 10%, and there's your performance base.
What about your?
That's just an example of different ways you do. I'm not saying that's the best way or that's what I want to do. What I'm saying is there's so much money that you can give a push-up coach $800,000. You can find ways to give the players $10,000 a year to help pay for other things like shoes and shirts. Chaz Rat selling shoes for $350 to a teammate.
Well, hold on. When the NCAA, now they're going to let them do the football thing on the PlayStation and Xbox. That's going to be a huge.
That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, that'd be huge for athletes. I mean, that's and if you look at now, I'm not saying the older generations, but if you look at the generations, I'd say probably 40 years and younger. That's what a lot of people want because they love doing that as a kid. They remember how fun it was, and they remember saying, "Hey, yeah, I remember I used to play this on the PlayStation or whatever," and they're wanting that to come back. And I say, if they're gonna play the kids, if they're gonna use their name tag, I mean, I would say you can't, Kevin, go back to what you were saying. Give a kid $9,000. You give a kid $9,000 that's never had $9,000, you're gonna have more trouble than it's going.
Whoa, no. Time out.
I believe that.
boy.
I've seen
First of all, we're adults, and
No.
they're 19 years old, they're 20 years old. What is the difference between Shannon? What is the difference between a kid working a part-time job and making $9,000 and then giving him $9,000 for playing football?
It's a
Either way,
difference.
you're working for it.
The difference is that a part-time job, it takes you a graduate, you get that $9,000 in a continual base, where you getting, instead of getting $9,000 in a chunk at one time, to somebody that's never had $9,000 in their hand before,
That's awesome. That's great for them. That's
awesome.
America.
But
and y'all are adults saying y'all don't want them to have $9,000.
You need to have something in place where they
get it, grab it.
Yeah.
If they got it, grab it.
Let's take the revenues from KTC Broadcast.
Y'all have a problem with NBA
and
players
give
at
the
21
announcers
making
half
millions.
of it.
Y'all don't have a single problem with the NBA players or the NFL players at 21 getting millions. Because they're getting drafted at 21 making
The
millions.
NBA and the
But at
NFL have
19,
things
at
in place when they guys get that kind of money. They have business. They got agents and stuff in place to watch over that
these moms
money.
and daddies have never had $9,000 in their lives.
These who?
I'm not saying at one point. I'm saying total in their life. You've had $9,000 in your life. Someone has made. Every person on earth has made $9,000 if you work at any
So
time.
when a
$9,000.
shoe company comes along and says, "Son, I'm going to give you $40,000 to go
Awesome.
to NC State
Awesome. Good.
or Carolina."
Awesome. Adidas does that now to Dennis Smith. How much they pay Dennis Smith to that, Terry?
They're saying they ain't got anything to do with that.
But what, Kevin, if you believe that, why don't you take the KTC revenue and distribute it among all the announcers and people here? We want 50% of all the revenues for KTC.
I already
you got
pay
costs.
you, Dennis. I already pay you, Dennis.
Two.
I already pay everybody.
you know, from each
Adults. Quit saying
according to his
kids. They're
need,
not kids.
to each according to his ability, something like that. Oh, wait a minute, that's communism.
What do you mean teach according to his ability? I'm talking about paying each player according to their. If you're good, you get. Dennis, what is wrong with?
That's called business. It's a
I know.
professional sport. College
is a professional
amateur
sport.
athletics.
Oh, it is. Will, you tell me every week who makes more money, college or NFL?
Some
Dabo makes $9 million a year. You're gonna tell me that's amateurism?
So are you talking about which league makes more money? The NCAA makes way more than the NFL, but there's 100 more teams. There's like,
but it's a business.
It's way more teams than the NCAA.
And these degrees that are so valuable, Dennis, only 30% of people, everyone who has a degree, uses the degree. They do. I'm asking for opportunity to be paid what I'm worth. Get this, Dennis. Get this. I can go to college and still get paid $9,000 a year. What if I'm poor? Like you said, you're scared to give a poor person money when they don't have it. $9,000 if I have no money is great for me. I don't understand if I'm living in wherever I'm living in a very bad situation, my family doesn't have any money, and I can get paid $9,000 a year to go wrestle at NC State. I have no idea how that's not a good thing for a kid to give. Because you
didn't say, but you was talking about the bonus money. You're
going to graduate with a degree. You're going to graduate with a degree and $36,000. You use like two. I mean, like your scenarios are like blending because you use paying $9,000 for them to come wrestle for a season. Then you saying give these kids that play football when they gave it Dabo the bonus money. What you could have gave that bonus money to these kids and gave them $9,000 a piece. Yeah, give them all.
Okay, but there's two different scenarios. No, it's not. It's not. You saying paying $9,000 over a season and talking about paying them $9,000 at one time. There's two different scenarios.
High school kids
You're talking about
breaking
college
I don't care
kids. Either way, give them all.
How much is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association paying those kids today in those championship games? Yet the head of the North Carolina High School Education or High School Athletic Association is making six-figure income. Is that fair? Why don't we pay the high school kids too?
It's not, Dennis, and that's a totally ridiculous argument. It's $1 billion.
Oh, wait a minute. It's ridiculous.
It's $1 billion industry. It is not $1 billion industry in high school. The Athletic Association is not making $1 million off of this weekend's game.
Where do you draw them?
Where are they getting the money? Adults. Did it work, Dennis? That's the line. Listen. If you're going, the High School Athletic Association, where do they get their money, Dennis, from? The high schools. They don't get it from they play these couple of high school championships and they get the money from the high school. We're talking billions compared to $9 million in high school, in North Carolina high school. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association as a whole brings in less money. Hold on. They bring in less money than Dabo does as a one person. What I'm saying is if you want to break it down and pay the kids $20 a piece, that's where it would break down to. But when I say there's so much money in college football that y'all are against paying, 3 hours a week. Now they show up on Saturdays and don't get paid to work, right? What about the other hours during the week that they get to practice? I don't understand for 1 second why someone getting $9,000 is going to ruin their life as opposed to. I didn't say everybody. Well, after 4 years, it'd be better to have. When we did the math on Chaz and he was going to that, it was like $200,000.
I just run the soundboard, sir.
He could graduate from North Carolina with $200,000 in your pocket. As a graduate, would it be better to graduate with money in your pocket and to be able to start a business, be able to do what you want to do? That would be better for the kids.
I guess
have a degree and a little cash.
I just run the soundboard. I usually don't even listen to them, so.
Driving crazy by giving him money that he's never had. Some boys got to get money. We want to keep them poor forever. I mean, let's be scared to give $100. I don't get it.
Somebody said, no, when you talking, the case is confounded, but your explanation has two different scenarios. You talk about $9,000 at one time and $100 bill at another time.
Yes, sir.
You're not yourself following that one.
I do.
There's different ways to do it, is what I'm explaining. There's all kinds of different ways.
Have a good day, sir.
The only people who are against paying college athletes
are adult males over 40 years old.
Hey, the
It's-
only people.
No.
The only people. No.
That has been.
There's something
Find me
called,
someone under 30 that is against paying
Do-
college
do
athletes.
people-
I would never. I don't understand.
do people who are welders or others have to work an apprenticeship at a lower paying job? Do you walk into Wall
That's
Street
high school
and-
football, Dennis. That's the apprenticeship. High school athletes, that's your practice. That's your apprenticeship. Do you not think playing high school football is hard? It's hard to go to practice every day. The percentages are, if you play sports,
It is not.
What is not?
Playing high school
Okay,
football
Will,
is not hard.
How many hours does it take to practice?
It's
How many
a
hours-
choice you make. You do
Oh.
not have to play high school
I didn't
football.
say you did, but it's hard to do.
It's not hard
really
to do.
hard.
It's
That's
you
your
love it.
apprenticeship.
That's
Your learning.
that's
Your learning
you
there.
love playing football in high school.
Dennis, do the apprentice? Jesus. Listen, guys, y'all are being really silly on this.
How we living?
Somebody
So you
$15 an hour for hamburgers? No, you start them at minimum wage and then they work their way up, Kevin.
What's wrong with paying someone $15 an hour to work?
Because your hamburger would be $14.
If someone's willing to pay for it, why would you care?
Because nobody is willing to pay $15 for a hamburger
You don't
at a fast food joint.
Well, that's the difference. That steakhouse you can.
Hey,
People pay $50 for burgers.
I paid $15 for a burger at a steakhouse, but nobody wants to go to McDonald's and pay $15 for a burger. I hate paying $8 for a combo now.
I just think.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I just dropped.
Kevin,
Yes, sir.
I'm a former economics, government, civics teacher who wrote the curriculum for economics.
Who is against paying?
You're darn
Wait,
right.
guess
because
what?
in this world, you earn what you got.
Guess what? The colleges are part of a. Are you saying they don't earn what they? Is that what you're saying?
That number changes all the time.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
What
that
number?
number changes. That number don't be 8 for Peyton Manning every year. It changes the next time.
Terry, but they sell those. They sell those jerseys because of those people.
What we're paying for the number that's on the back, and that's what they want, and that's not what you're paying for.
Terry, when I buy a North Carolina Tar Heel 23 jersey, whose jersey am I buying?
Well, yeah, you think the only person that comes to mind is Michael Jordan. That's the only person that comes to mind.
But
Because
does
even if somebody is wearing 23 now, somebody says, "Oh, that's Michael Jordan."
Well,
No,
they can't
it's not.
because it's retired.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm just saying though, that's
Hey.
how it be.
I have a pair of Michael Jordan's game-worn Nike Air Jordans, custom made, autographed by Michael Jordan. I paid $1 for them. I'll sell them to you for $25,000
No.
because that's the going price. You know why
Well,
I
for
haven't
you
sold
it is, but
you know why I haven't
it's
sold them
obviously
for
not. Because it's not the going
$25,000?
price, Dennis.
Because I'm waiting till the price gets to $50,000.
That's the asking price. The going price is what it's bought for.
Yeah.
Asking price and going price.
In economic terms, it's called equilibrium price. It's the price you're willing to pay and I'm willing
Right.
to sell.
And y'all would rather the guy on the sideline coaching get $9 million when no one else on the field that actually does the work gets anything.
We'd match with you, Kevin, but you're
Gets
only half
anything. He
prepared.
gets anything. I just don't understand why y'all it's a bad thing to pay the guys extra money and that they earn. You're saying they're not earning it. They are earning it. The guy at Duke is getting paid $70,000 in scholarship. The guy at Charlotte's getting paid $20,000 scholarship. Y'all think that's fair? It's not fair. It's the same thing according to the NCAA.
It's two different schools. Is it fair? It's what
Oh, you're coming to my side.
It's
Yes,
no.
Yes.
When JP came in here to run the board, did you pay him the same thing you
coming to my
paid
side.
Steve Roberts?
Yes.
Oh, JP. Bless you.
There's no way.
It's going right.
There's no way you did.
Yes, it is going right.
That,
Going right.
you know what? I am not going to sit here and argue.
Hey,
I know better
You know what
because
they say
Steve
about
Roberts,
arguing with
Steve
some
Roberts
people?
was at the old building, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with
What's the
him
first
on
wild
that.
time checks? I don't know. Y'all are asking silly stuff. Jeff, are you ready for break? When we take the break, we gotta go to Calvin outside, right? Alright, we'll be back this minute.
Do you have a little wiggle in the front end of that car or truck? Or are your stops taking a little longer? Then you need to see Petite's Front End and Brake Shop in Charlotte. For over 42 years, Petite's Front End and Brake Shop has been serving this area. From alignments to brakes, shocks to tires, from AC work to heater repair, they do it all, even minor automotive repair. And they are on North Carolina and inspection station. Just call 704-482-8471 or come by. They're located at 308 North Washington Street in Shelby. See Tim and the guys today at Petite.
Ready more sports talk? Hey. No, it's static. It's static.
Check, 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 check.
I hear you now.
Check, 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 check.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Can you
mean,
hear me now?
alright, we'll do.
93.95. It's in the phone book. Or try them at PutmanDistributors.com. The automobile rates have never been better than now at Reed Lindsay State Farm Insurance Agency in Shelby. If you're in the market for automobile insurance, now is the time to see Reed Lindsay State Farm Insurance. Their mission is to help people manage the risk of everyday life and help you recover from the unexpected and realize your dreams. You'll find a friendly staff that will work hard for you and your insurance needs. From auto to home to property, life insurance, and more, see Reed Lindsay State Farm Insurance Agency, 1671 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, online at reedlindsay.com. Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
I'm your
Roundup
agent.
Store in
Tell me when
Shelby
you
is
get your
now
raise.
your brand new Pest Tool dealer in this area.
My dad.
Pest Tool brings you 90 years of perfection. With a Pest Tool, your tools are always in good hands. From drills to screwdrivers.
Hello and welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. We're going to take a break and send it over to Renato Auto Mall. Y'all there?
For Touch Drive. That's right. If you're coming out today, bring you an unwrapped toy, bring it up to the Honda store or the Kia.
We should have a way that they can play football. They don't have to go to college. And they learn heat and air, plumbing, and carpentry. They're making six figures. And the kids that I taught in the AP class have got a degree in Middle Eastern philosophy. They're saying, would you like a prom? What's fair about that? They spend $50,000 a year tuition at you. And they can't make but $10,000 flipping burgers. Well, I want to know what the value is. What is the value of college football? Is every school different or is every school the same? If they're different, then we owe the kids the less schools money. If they're all the same, we owe the other schools the other schools. Someone's not getting the same. Nothing about it is the same, except that they are not getting the same. That's the only thing the same. If I get educational dude, you know Bruce, whether that dream would go to the kids in Charlotte. Now, I'd be a better football player at Charlotte, but it doesn't matter for me. But let's just say, like, one of my former students, I sent him to Penn State, he chose to go to Penn State. He comes back here, he can't get a job because there's nobody here that's just Penn State. And he can't do that. Had he gone to Clemson from Carolina or NC State, he would have been much better off because he said, come on, son.
Alright, thank you guys. Alright, so we're back with Kevin and the gang. I think, I don't know. I know. Oh boy.
That was big news coming in and stuff this week. All right, I got some fun NFL notes for Terry. Let's get Terry more fired up. He's not ready for these as well. Oh, no, let's have a little fun real quick before the next break, and then we'll do NFL real quick. All right, so Terry, these were, I thought this was fun. Major League Baseball, opposite logos. You follow me? So if your team was named the opposite of what it is, your logo name. So the Royals, I want to start with them, okay? You ready?
I'm listening.
I'm listening. You're the Kansas City Peasants.
Wrong.
The Chicago Black Hats. The Boston Green Hats.
The Dallas Cowgirls.
Cincinnati Greens. The Los Angeles Roadkill. The New York Dixies. The Philadelphia Burgers. The San Francisco Dwarves. What about them?
Why are we in this?
Huh?
Why are we in
The
this?
Minnesota Only Children. You like that one, baby. You have to like that one. You're a Twins fan. You have to like that one. The Minnesota Only Children. I'm going to buy you a shirt with that logo on it. With it. Come on. You know you like it. Now, here's the one I wanted to get to. And I don't know if you know the background on this or not. What would be the Tampa Bay Rays' new name and logo? Any guesses?
Tampa Bay men.
The Tampa Bay Rays. Now this is really deep. It doesn't really have to do with the animal. It's really a shot at somebody. I don't know why they did this. This whole thing is kind of...
Tampa. If it's me and I had to rename Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay Buzzards.
Who would... Do y'all remember who got killed by a stingray? Do y'all remember the crocodile hunter? Well, they named him the Tampa Bay Irwins. Steve Irwin. That's the logo. Is the road killing Steve Irwin?
That is so horrible.
I told you it was going to get silly here in a second.
I would
I
like
got
to
special.
apologize on behalf of the staff.
We got
for the
football
content
news,
of
guys. Y'all
This
ready?
program today.
Y'all ready for this, Shannon? Football news. This is for you and Terry especially.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
David Tepper. Football news. You ready, Terry?
I got to hear all this. Like I care what they're doing in Carolina.
Oh, this is especially for you, Terry. David Tepper is bringing expansion football to North Carolina.
Football.
He is. What he's thinking.
No, they ain't no thinking. It's coming.
What he's thinking.
They're coming. It's been approved. They're coming to Bank of America Stadium.
And
Now,
this-
Shannon and Carolina Panther fans, Dennis, your stadium will be home to more professional soccer games than professional football games. It is no longer the home of the Carolina Panthers. It is now the official, and they're taking over. They're doing $300 million in renovations. Panthers are no longer in Charlotte. Get them out. You're now home to soccer.
Ken,
Exactly
explain
it
to
is.
me.
And
why
they're
they have to
named-
cut a hole in the 50-yard line for some dumb soccer player to run out on.
Hey.
He's got a tunnel at the end of the field.
The MLS averages more fans than the NBA per game, and hockey both. So the Major League Soccer has got into fourth behind NASCAR, third in average per attendance in the major stick and ball sports. The names, Terry?
Yeah, I heard about all these. The Monarchs.
Should they be the Charlotte Football Club, the Charlotte Crown Football Club, the Charlotte Fortune Football Club, the Charlotte Monarchs Football Club, Charlotte Athletics Football Club? And don't you like how it's always football club and all of it? Charlotte Town Football Club, the Carolina Gliders Football Club, and All Carolina Football Club. So Tepper buys the Panthers, turns it into a soccer stadium, Terry.
Don't be named. If I had to pick one of those, and I'm just going to be as simple, the Charlotte Athletic Football Club.
Is that the one that
That
rolls off the
covers
tongue?
soccer and football and everything. It's all in one.
It's called
logo.
Charlotte United.
Yeah.
You like
Manchester
that one?
United, Charlotte United. Being a parent of a soccer kid, this is huge. This is because it's this big. There's a lot of soccer people around here. I know
They
you
are.
call it communist ball, but there's a lot of
It is.
soccer kids, people around here. That will be a huge
But
revenue
well,
for the
see,
city.
well, listen to me. We have to understand when you say soccer, soccer's only in two countries, Canada and the United States. Everywhere else, it's called football.
Football.
It's football.
It's only two countries that call it soccer.
Can we call it the Charlotte Suckers?
When are the Panthers moving, Shannon, according to this?
Hey, man.
Oh, you know what this is all about. We're going to convert Bank of America
Oh,
to
yeah.
a soccer stadium.
Listen.
And then we go to Charlotte
Build
Pipe
one.
and Foundry
Dome.
and
Yes.
build a dome stadium so we can have more concerts.
Hey, Terry, where have I been saying this
That's
for?
Where
Guys,
it's going.
South Carolina's
I
going to
believe it.
legalize gambling. Wait for me. There's a ton of coastal property in Myrtle Beach. The Carolina Panthers are moving to Myrtle Beach in 10 years.
I don't see Tepper making a headquarters in Rock Hill and then putting the Panthers in Myrtle Beach.
Well, they're not going to move to Rock Hill. They're going to move
to Charleston.
What? No, I'm not listening. They could be. Listen, they could go to Charleston. Myrtle Beach is close to everybody in North Carolina. Everybody in North Carolina gets the same distance that they can to South Carolina. If they legalize, that's the key. If they legalize the gambling in South Carolina, all that money down there, he's a hedge fund manager. All he's thinking about money, 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 money. everything with Tepper, think money first, and then follow the dots after that. I'm saying it's a possibility. I'm not saying you're going. I'm not just trolling you. There's, man, they legalize gambling. I think Charleston's too south.
What about Greenville?
I don't know how far it is, Green. I'm not agreeing.
Well, they originally played in Clemson Stadium.
Yeah, they did.
It's an hour down the road, yeah.
But the people from Charlotte.
They'll revolt.
But the reason the stadium is in downtown, and the reason they tore down a perfectly good Coliseum over on Tybola and moved it downtown was for the ambiance of people going to all the restaurants and the shops and the traffic. They're not going to move the stadium. They might go as far as Carowinds Boulevard down here.
That's what I was thinking. In that area, build your.
That's the most likely.
That's
Split
you
the
come here.
stadium.
If you're done here, go to Carowinds.
Split the stadium, half in South Carolina, half in North Carolina, collecting cities from both states, and it's the Carolina Panthers, not the Charlotte Panthers.
Tepper's going to whoever is going to give him the most tax
Of
money.
course.
It's all about the tax. That's
Because
what I keep saying.
he went to college and didn't play football.
It's all about the money. Dennis, well, I don't understand what.
I just got that. That's pretty
That he
good.
didn't get paid to play football in college?
No, he used his time wisely.
30. He's one of the 30% that did. Congratulations to him. He said the stadium needed to be renovated for camera angles and other stuff.
Oh, Lord mercy.
Only 2% and make it in football.
Wow, man.
All right. Now
That's
the
big.
that was all I was going to give you on that. Yeah, I thought you would like the soccer stuff for a minute. No, we got another break in just a second. So I was kind of stalling for that. Terry, this week in news, a banana was worth $120,000. Did you see that?
I saw
Yeah.
that. Well,
Somebody ate banana.
I was gonna.
duct tape on.
I looked for banana on it in our kitchen this morning. We didn't have it. I was going to duct tape it for the show. It was right behind us.
That was so. Is that not funny? We got.
Did you hear about that, Will? In an art gallery, they duct taped it down to a wall and sold it for $120,000. And then a performance artist came and ate it.
And some guy that's playing for college football probably bought it.
$120,000 somebody paid for that. A banana duct tape.
Dennis, explain what you're trying to say. You keep taking slight jabs at not quite understanding.
Kevin.
I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say.
Well, let's just put it this way. If we did a dissection of certain people's brains and we put it on a microscope slide,
Oh, Lord Jesus.
it would look like a BP rolling down an 8-lane
Oh,
highway.
Lord Jesus.
Dennis, I bet $1,000 that I got a better SAT score than you did, Bubba.
You want to bet?
Yeah, I bet I did.
Okay.
You get the 14.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh, that's right. They did change the standards from the.
Oh,
old
now we
to the
changed
new.
it. Now we changed it.
That's
Now
right.
we
We're
changed it.
changing the rules.
Different
Now we
times.
changed it. Different times.
I mean, that is a,
Different times.
between you and Dennis is a huge difference.
There it is.
Yeah.
Appalachian gave me an
I-
academic scholarship.
Hey, is JP, is Calvin ready for Nola? JP. Oh gosh, we don't have our gun.
I love you, Kevin.
Wake up,
I'm just
buddy.
having fun.
I just don't see how you think it's stupid and ignorant to pay people what they're worth, and that's what you keep insinuating and saying. And all I'm saying is like, if
No,
a scholarship's worth $30,000, all I'm saying is that you should pay, and if they're worth 50, pay them the extra 20. And if you work 40 hours a week, pay them. And they're not children, they're adults. And that's all I'm saying about all of it. And they're the only 3 sports in America. You don't have a problem with Manny Mitchell getting paid in college, but you have a problem with the football players getting paid in college. That's what I don't understand about any of this. And for you all to say, y'all make fun of it and say it's ignorant and stupid, I don't see how that.
I'm not saying
that.
That's
Nobody
what,
said
that's
that.
what this guy right here is
I'm not
insinuating.
saying
He keeps
that.
saying.
I'm just saying it's hard for.
You're dissecting my brain and saying how
That's
bad
no
it
way
is.
to make
It's
it
a
real.
movie. It's
Yeah.
like
We were talking about the idea.
Oh,
No way.
The idea, Kevin.
Yeah.
all right, let's talk about this then. Are we ready for break? We come back, we're just going to roast the Panthers for the rest of the show. We'll be back in a minute on KTC Broadcast.
S&M Sports Shop is your dealer for Under Armour sports apparel in Cleveland County. Come by and see the selection of Under Armour shirts, shorts, shoes, socks, and sunglasses. S&M is also your team outfitter for all local schools in whatever sport you play. They have leather jackets for all local high schools. Plus, S&M is your headquarters for Oakley sunglasses. For all your athletic needs, go to S&M Sports Shop. They're located at 707 South Lafayette Street in Shelby.
Merry Christmas from Sandy's Country Christmas, where you can keep the holiday spirit all year. Go by Sandy's at 2536 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, where you'll find Christmas merchandise, of course, as well as seasonal items and craft supplies for all holidays and occasions of the year. From now through Christmas Eve, they'll be open 9 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Hello, is there any more sports talk? Yes, he is. 1 minute, please. Hey, Dennis! Is there any more sports talk? Alright. Dennis! That's for you! May I ask who's calling? Okay. Patrick, someone. That's his last name. I didn't hear what it said his first name was.
Same buddy for Christmas at Shelby Hardware, located at 506 South Lafayette Street in Shelby.
Alright, we're going to take it back to Renato Auto Mall with Calvin and the gang. Y'all out there?
Auto Mall. We're at Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. We're going to be here until
yeah, he's actually on the air right now, and I can't hear him the phone, so
Shelby High School football coming
can I take a
up.
message?
11 o'clock. They'll play in the state championship game against
Can I take a
the
message for him?
Salisbury
He's on the air right
Saints.
now.
What is Salisbury?
Where is Salisbury?
No, what is the Salisbury
Okay, all right.
mascot? Okay.
Now, the sports talk guys can answer that.
Okay, well, they say that here a little bit, so I know.
Yeah, Ron, what we're giving away here?
Yeah, we're giving away all kinds of good stuff. We're giving away Charlotte Hornets basketball
Yeah, of course.
tickets, free rounds of golf at the Woodbridge
everything.
Golf Course, tickets to Adventureland and Gastonia, a $20 meal certificate at Jam Jay's Pizza, tickets to the R&B show in Charlotte, and also tickets to the home and land.
This dude decided to walk up 74. Like nothing but a trench coat and a hatchet. Three jackets on there. Got arrested for possession of meth.
And we're back. Yep, we are.
Alright, Shane, got a question for you. At the top, or the only three colleges with conference championships in each of the last 4 seasons. 3 teams. Who you got? Pick 3? Yeah, 3 teams. One college. This isn't hard. There's only 3 conference championships each of the last 4 seasons. Anybody got any guesses?
And what?
Football. FBS with the conference championship last 4 seasons.
Clemson?
Yes.
Alabama.
No.
No.
LSU.
No.
No.
Ohio State.
Appalachian.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
The other one is Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, Clemson, and App State are the only ones with championships in the last 4 years. Want to get that little last college kid
Something
in
else
it.
about from?
Do what?
Something else not
Come on.
They're, well, I mean, they're better than everybody in the SEC with Clemson. Best team in North Carolina. Right, Terry?
Are the best team in North Carolina, Terry? Say it, Terry.
You couldn't beat
Say
State.
it, Terry.
You couldn't beat State.
He won't say it.
And we
He
played
won't do it.
freshman and sophomore.
He won't say it. Poor Terry. All right, let's get over just some NFL stuff real quick. Let's see some my tweets of the week this week. Terry, the Raiders is the first group rookies to have 10 sacks and 10 touchdowns in the first 10 games since 1982. Does that mean anything to you?
Good job for them.
I've got a rushing touchdown stat for you, Will. You ready? Ryan Fitzpatrick has more rushing touchdowns in his career than Bo Jackson. Is that not crazy? Bo didn't play that long.
He really did.
He didn't, did he? Oh, yeah, for Ryan Fitzpatrick to rate
Who has more home runs, though?
probably Bo. Terry last Sunday against the Bills when they started booing Garrett and people, they put Romo on the scoreboard to stop the booing when he was in the booth. Did you see that one? No? That's good. Terry ain't got none of that for this year.
Your campaign to bring Romo back is
6 and 7.
not going to happen.
I wasn't trying to bring him back. I just said the fans were cheering him because y'all were garbage. It's 6 and 7. The Cowboys are 6 and 7.
Well,
the Browns are 6 and 7. The Bucks are 6 and 7.
Garbage.
The Colts are 6 and 7.
The
You're number one in your league.
standings I look at say we in first.
Will, who do y'all want to play in the first round? Who do you want to play in the first round, Will? Don't try to back up the Cowboys. And then when I ask who you want to play in the first round,
Yeah, but you're number 1 and 2 seed, so you don't have to worry about
where
it.
do you want to go round one?
I won't get to play a Cowboy because I am
Oh, y'all gonna get a bye?
2 seed.
Oh, you get a bye.
The last time that we played in Green Bay and in the playoffs, we won and they gave it to y'all. Yes. That's all I got.
Here we go with
Was
this mystery catch
touchdown
again.
now
Oh my
that
God.
the NFL said
Oh,
was a
it
touchdown.
wasn't a
That was a
touchdown.
catch. It
The
was.
NFL said it was. They come back and say it was.
Yes.
I don't know why the NFL.
They messed up.
I don't know why they come back saying it was a catch.
Because it was.
Because the ball hit the ground.
That even if
Yeah,
he
he
caught
fumbled.
it,
He done-
then he
he
fumbled
fumbled.
and then he recovered.
And he recovered his own fumble. I don't know what you were watching.
No.
Yes, he did. He
the
recovered
ball
his own
hit the
fumble.
ground. That means even if he caught the pass,
All right, Patrick.
the play would have been dead.
I'm glad you mentioned. I want to say one thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Here is my deal, and guys, you got to understand. This is the NFL. If I am a running back and I just barely put the ball across, it don't matter what happened. The ball can get knocked loose, but as long as I reach across, it's a touchdown. If you catch it in the air, you've got to have control, hit the ground, have possession, and then the ball can come loose. Bull crap. I called it in the end zone. That's a touchdown. I mean, if you're going to do it right for a running back, you got to
But
do
he
it the
didn't
same
catch
way
it in
for
the
a wide
end zone.
receiver.
Even if the play would have
If I reach it across and it's knocked out of my hand, that's a ball.
even if as the player
You
stand,
must have
when
possession.
he failed, the ball hit before he got to the end zone.
Terry, for the first time in team history, the Cowboys have a 4,000-yard passer, a 1,000-yard rusher, and a 1,000-yard receiver.
And we also got
And you're
Jason Garrett.
And you're 6 and 7. I told you it's Jerry Jones 3 years ago.
No, it's Jason Garrett. It's been Jason Garrett ever since it's been there. He cannot determine anything. He's like we always say, he's a yes man. He cannot determine anything on his own.
He's only had one losing season until this year.
Well, yeah, that's good. And somebody else is going to pick him up. Well, let them go through every week.
Do the Panthers want him?
Let them have him.
No.
Will Garrett come in and impress Tepper though?
Here's the difference.
Offensive schemes like Tepper's looking for.
We are 6 and 7. Here's the difference. 5 of our 7 losses have been by touchdown or less. We could easily be 11 and 2 and nobody be saying nothing.
Not a word. But you're not.
That's right. Because that's Jason Garrett.
To quote Dandy Don America, if ifs and buts was
candy and nuts.
Yes,
Right, Mary.
You are what Rick says you are. Panthers.
Oh my God! You just went to Denny Green with Denny Green. You are.
Yeah.
You are who we say you are.
Now, the Panthers are the only team in the NFL with 3 players that have over 100 tackles. And the quote is, that's the bad news because they're the only team. Your defense is making a lot of tackles. 100 tackles, 3 players for the Panthers. And they're 5 and 7.
I think our Russian defense is like 29 or something like that.
You guys, we try to make this I guess Terry and I make this point a lot. It's all about the defense in the NFL. I don't know how many Super Bowls there was, but in the first 53, 48 of them were won by a top 12 defense. Of Ron Rivera's 9 seasons for the Panthers, 3 of them with the winning records were the 3 seasons he had a top 10 defense. All 6 of the other ones he's had worse. This year, 26th in scoring, I think, 27th in scoring. You gave up 29 to the worst offense in the NFL, 247 rushing yards. This year, we talked about for the season, was it the switch to the 3-4, or does Rivera not have a fastball, or is Kuechly starting to lose his? Is a combination of all those Panther fans?
Yes.
Good.
The thing I hate about the situation with the Panthers is you've got a running back and a linebacker who are 2 of the best at their positions in the NFL, and you're wasting their prime. And before long, those kids, I say kids, they're men, are going to be past their prime, and so are the Panthers. Take advantage of it while you have it. Go get some offensive linemen. You've got to have some run stoppers, free agents. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for the Panthers if you have a decent running back, some wide receivers, a good tight end. You can get by, but your defense has got to stop the opponent. Defense wins championships. That's why Shelby Shannon will win another state championship today.
But it's been all offense with him.
Yeah.
It's been all.
Yeah, but the defense is not giving up nothing.
Yeah.
The defense
Do not underestimate Shelby's defense.
Shannon, Panthers. What y'all gonna do, man?
I don't know. I mean, I agree with Dennis. I think if Tepper is going, if he's this guru, what he's going to do, I think he needs to spend the money. I think he needs to go out there and get the free agents. I do think they need the defense, especially that secondary. I think the secondary needs a whole new revamp. I think you're not going to do it through the draft because those guys are getting older. They're getting out of their prime. Go out there and get it, win now, and I think Tepper will fix it, but it's gonna take. It's not going to be able to do the draft. You're going to have to get.
All right. Do y'all want them to keep Cam, or do you want them to move on? Or what do you think they'll do?
I think I'll keep him. I really do.
Kim is actually a bargain at $19 million if he's able to play. But Kim is like me going over the wheels and looking at a used car. It's got a lot of miles on it, and it looks good, but is it dependable? Does it get me from point A to point B? I'm not sure. I think Cam's probably got another year or 2 in him. If I could get 2 first-round draft picks for Cam, I'd help him pack his bag
right now,
because I need that defensive run stopper, and I need that secondary guy that you're talking about. I mean, I don't know why the Panthers didn't get the guy that went from Miami to Pittsburgh that's made a change. Mike Tomlin says, hey, I don't care who's playing quarterback. We'll beat you on defense. And he's doing it with nothing.
He is. I mean, that's a good point because they lost. I mean, they all went to basically their 4th-string quarterback and they second, third string running backs. So
you can win with a game manager.
If you can manage it, I mean, they playing with Duck. The guy's nickname is Duck. That's their quarterback.
And that's what he does when they come running at him. He ducks.
And see, that's what I always say, because when I think of Dak, he's no worth more than $23 million. He's worth the even brain that Brady is, and I'm putting him on the top level, but he's done nothing. I mean, you cannot pay a guy more than that. Carson Wentz, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Matt Ryan, one of the top quarterbacks. They're doing nothing. They're losing, and you're paying them out your tail to be your quarterback.
Well, let's take Will's team, the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, absolutely fantastic, Mr. Magician quarterback.
Paper mache.
When he didn't have a defense, what did they do? They didn't win.
He was hurt for 2 years.
Yeah.
They're 13th in defense right now.
He was hurt for 2 years. The 2 years we did make, the last 2 years we did make the playoffs. It was because he was hurt for 2 years.
The only you're right. The only years they haven't made the playoffs when Rodgers has been hurt. Now the difference between the really good teams and red, of course, is the defenses, and that's throughout the NFL. Patriots have only given up 13 points a game. Bills 16. You're not scoring in the AFC East on those two.
But here's the situation with the Patriots. They have been a dynasty. Notice I said they have been. Tom Brady is 40 plus years old. I don't care how good he is, but you take Tom Brady.
He ain't but 2 years younger than me.
And you put Tom Brady in Dallas, Terry, and your Cowboys
11-2
are great because of the mental ability. But then Tom Brady fires up the defense, and they go out and stop some people instead of playing Toro defense.
So you're saying he's that 7-point difference?
Yeah.
I'll take Tom Brady any day. I don't like him, but I'll take him.
So the Bills and Patriots added together give up 29 a game. So Shannon and Dennis, your Patriots are giving up 28 by themselves. So there's the difference between the Super Bowl run from a few years back when you were 6th, the defense giving up 18 a game, and now you're giving up 27 a game. That's 9 points more a game that the offense has to score just to make up for it.
And see, Dallas is all total on both sides because at one time Dallas was 5th.
You're 12, right?
They fallen to 12 because the defense now is waiting for the offense to do something. They're stuck on the field so long that they're getting tired.
And Terry's.
I don't care what level it is. You stay the defense stay out on the field all day. I mean,
that Kings Mountain Catholic game, they couldn't stop the run.
Chris didn't win more games this year. The defense was wore out.
But then when you're 3 and out, remember, Tom Brady's dad, guys, we're 10-2, not 2-10.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, looking at the defense, Patriots 1, Bills 2, Niners 3, Bears out of the playoffs right now 4, Ravens 5, Pittsburgh 6. There's your reasons along with the Duck while they're in the playoffs. 7, Vikings, Chargers 8. They found more ways to lose a ball game than in the history of football. Maybe it's that NC State quarterback. The Chargers.
Hey, that NC State quarterback is a great quarterback.
He
just
can
doesn't
sling
have the surrounding.
If you get to see him in one of the
he
quarterback
ain't been
competitions,
himself
so
since
long.
Antonio Gates.
I haven't seen him.
He's never been the same.
I haven't seen Philip Rivers in real life play, I don't think, but just watching him in the quarterback competition when they did it, the Pro Bowl and stuff, they showed it from behind. And you see all the side angles and stuff, how it looks goofy and stuff, but when they showed it from behind, it looked like he was actually throwing darts. It was just flicking straight. It was like one smooth motion when you're directly behind him. I understand why he throws it so good now. It looks goofy from every other angle, but when they showed that behind angle, he looked like he was throwing darts. I was impressed. By his arm strength right now, Terry, as old as he is, he can put mustard on the bottom. He's in his late 30s. I'm not 100.
He's got as many kids as has been in the NFL.
He does. He got a basketball team.
He can afford it. Let him have them babies.
He does.
Procreate, my friend. Procreate.
Let's see. In the world, I ain't got that. All right, let's do the schedule this week. Well, real quick, playoffs they start today. It'll be Steelers at Chiefs, Bills at Texans, with the Ravens and Patriots getting the byes right now. You got a favorite in the AFC right now? Everybody saying? I know what Terry's saying.
I know what I'm saying. It's automatic. New England. You got to go through them to get them.
I think
You can do all you want to. Mahomes tried that last year and it didn't work.
I agree. It depends, Shannon. I think whether New England gets home field advantage. They don't have it right now.
On the home field.
If Baltimore's got home field advantage, I got to go with Baltimore. And there's one key here. If the quarterback doesn't get injured, ask Cam how that works. When you get targeted down the stretch and somebody goes for a leg, that's what they're doing right now. They're going after his legs. He can't run. And can he beat you passing? Yeah, but he's got to push off to throw the ball. So if you want to beat Baltimore, I hate to say it, but you got to play dirty.
Who you got? You got Ravens? You got Chiefs?
AFC?
Chiefs?
Ravens.
Chiefs? Ravens. No Chiefs? Listen, the Browns are still in the hunt. If they win the last 3, you'll look.
Yeah, they way off in the woods though, baby.
Hey, they're the 8th seed. They're way off their 8th.
The back part of that field back
Only
there,
2 games
very, very back part of the field where
they're 2 games out.
You got to walk all the way out there and get to it. That's what he had.
If they were in the listen, if the Browns were the East instead of Dallas, we would be in first place too. So you just make up whatever division y'all want to
Say more
be.
sports talk.
Not only would you not have to be an AFC team, you have to be an NFC team. There's a whole lot of
Say again. Yes, of course, yeah. It will be audio. They don't allow us to video the championship, but it will be audio. I'm unaware if anybody does. I think Spectrum holds the rights to it, and they won't let us video. They might, but I can't guarantee. I don't even know where it would be at if it was on Spectrum. All right. You're welcome.
15th of December.
They will.
About 12 days left for Christmas.
About 12 days left for Christmas.
Here's Jerry's wish list.
If you make the playoffs,
This is my road.
Dallas has enough talent to beat anybody in the NFL.
Alright, so Vikings would go to New Orleans in round one. Seattle to Dallas right now to start the day. Packers and Niners with the bye. So I picked the Saints the last 3 years. I'm sticking with them right now. I wish they'd get home field advantage. They need that. I would say that when they don't, they're going to screw them out of the last 2 years. That's not worked out for them.
I know who the Panthers will be playing.
The Panthers.
Monopoly.
Yeah, they're in the
Couch.
right now.
With a pillow.
Well, yeah, and I've got the standings here for
They play Go Fish.
So, well, let's say this, Panther fans, if they do move on from Cam, is this David Tepper going to try to move up and get to that number one spot, or Burrow or somewhere? Do you think they'll sit back like Terry and wait for someone to come to the GM?
You know the sad thing for Bears coming out, he's gonna be number one. Obviously, he's gonna be the number one pick. And the sad thing for him is he's on to a team that don't have this not offensively set up for him. They're not gonna have the line.
Wouldn't Cincinnati be first right now?
Cincinnati's one, Giants two, Redskins, and Miami
they're
tied
gonna
two.
take.
All right. If you're the number one quarterback, Kevin's the number one quarterback. Kevin,
Yes.
you're going to be drafted by Cincinnati.
Yes.
How happy are you about that?
I love their helmets. I would like it. That's
So
my
you
first
are the
thought.
type.
That's my first thought.
Can you not do the Eli deal? I'm not playing.
Listen.
I'm not
Yeah.
playing there.
Yeah. I mean, you want to get behind that.
Some people, you got different thoughts on it.
I mean,
some people want to play in different cities. Some people don't care. They just want to play
He's an
football.
Ohio guy, so you might like it. But
Yeah, some people aren't going to. Don't really matter where. It's about the coach.
I'm just wondering if he grew up a
match more than
Browns
anything.
fan. Since he grew up,
I don't know.
I wonder if he grew up a Browns fan or a Bengals fan.
I'm sure you don't want to go to Washington because of what happens. Has been happening there. But I mean, it's not like he's not going to go to the Giants.
Is Washington not a type? I mean, Washington is a quarterback killer. Like they kill quarterbacks. For some reason, Washington takes good quarterbacks and just destroy them.
But if you're the Bengals and Terry, for example, and this Cam Newton, for example, in the Cam Newton's draft, Andy Dalton was in that same draft.
Yeah.
They have pretty much the exact same passing yards, records, everything. Von Miller was number 2 in that draft. The Panthers could have drafted Von Miller and Andy Dalton, and instead went Cam. Now, the Bengals are sitting here in this spot. Do they trade back and get a quarterback later, like a Dak or someone in the 3rd or 4th round, someone in the 5th spot, and let the Dolphins trade up or the Panthers trade up? I'm looking down this list. Does the Chargers maybe trade up? Jacksonville could trade up. I don't know. Denver's is in Carolina's. They're in the 10-11 spot right now, kind of in the draft. Do one of those make a deal with Cincinnati? Like, does Tepper want to make his big splash? That's what I keep thinking is if they're going to lead towards getting rid of Cam, look for you guys maybe even make a move or something.
The problem
Maybe
I
the
have
2
with
spot.
Carolina doing something like that is Keithley's towards the end, McCaffrey's towards
Right.
the end. What all you gonna have to give up 2 first-rounders to jump up there? Maybe 2 in some other
Yeah.
kind of round.
and you
2 first and
Well,
a third.
you delete.
Well,
You
Terry,
speak.
you could give them Cam Newton in a 1st round pick. Cam Newton in a
I
3rd
don't
round pick.
think that they got a
For
good
the number
enough
one
quarterback
overall.
there
You
now.
gotta see
so
where
they
Ron
can
goes. If Ron goes to Chicago or he goes to San Diego, does Cam go with
Well,
him?
what about instead of 1? What if they traded like 2 or 3 or 4? Like the Giants don't need a quarterback, so they trade up to 2. get another someone besides Burrow, someone else they like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if
There's
Cincinnati
a
goes
couple different
north,
spots
I think
there.
they are.
I think so too.
There's no doubt.
I'm trying to get more what the Panthers' plans might be.
Or do you
on
take
that.
a guy like Jalen Hurts? You know,
The way it's been the last few years, I mean, I always take defense and people you know is going to start in the first 3 rounds, and then after that, you can get quarterbacks back. And Joe Montana and Tom Brady, you get these quarterbacks later. I always like the first 3 rounds.
And sometimes when these quarterbacks drop to that second round, they come in. We don't want.
Chip Rogers was dropped real low. It's not like he went first overall.
remember that green room?
Who always picked in front of him? Will you know? I didn't know if you had that on your chip on your shoulder as well.
No.
Was it the same chip that Aaron?
I mean, hey, you got to realize that at that time we had the Iron Man, we had Brett Favre when they drafted Rodgers. So
And he sat for 3 years to
right,
learn.
right. He sat for 3 years.
You don't do that these days. You draft a quarterback in the first round, Terry. He's playing, starting.
Or he's halfway through the season playing for you.
I think it's somewhat unfair to him because you know, we talk about the rosters. We wish the rosters would get game days. You could keep that third quarterback. You know, how many quarterbacks come out of college already? Almost none of them. He's got this first round picks. What about everybody else? There's 300 quarterbacks this year. How many of them got drafted 10 or 15? Like there's so many spots people can give you, and that's what the XFL and these other leagues that I would be excited about. Because I think it would improve quarterback play. Just from that point, these guys getting to play instead of being at UPS or
Where did Kurt Warner get drafted?
From Bagging Pro? From
Bagging Pro, he got drafted by Bilos.
The problem they have is once Burrow goes, there's not another North Carolina State quarterback down there for them to get to.
Gotcha.
So, we lead the NFL in quarterbacks.
Terry, do you want me to pull up the North Carolina State's quarterback ratings and passing yards this year?
How many stars do we have in this?
Brissett. You got, what's the...
Rivers.
I mean, we can have, and the guy that's somebody that got hurt.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson star. Then we had Glennon at one time was a star. He is a state man. Put that Wisconsin.
That's where he got it drafted.
Because
Yeah. O'Brien was put in a tough situation.
Yeah. Who's the guy that came in after?
Glenn. There you go.
That sounds awful lot like the Toronto situation last year, now doesn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Bo Brown was stuck with the points. Do I have a quarterback for 1 year, or do I have a quarterback for 2 years?
I'm just glad I reminded that Russell Wilson
quarterback for 0
He
years.
ended up with Glenn.
Oh my Lord Jesus.
I'm just glad he didn't move Russell Wilson to linebacker.
Hey, by the way,
Was that a cut?
It's the exact same situation.
by the way,
Yes, sir.
that linebacker that played cornerback made all ACC.
Wrong mistake.
First team.
But he's an athlete.
You make a lot of tackles when you're one of the worst teams in the league. Ask the Panthers. I just read it off. I just read off the Panthers. They got 300. No, he did outstanding. Outstanding job. I hope he's playing. I hope he replaces
His brother made all conference too.
We're half the season.
Let's pick. Yeah,
so them boys are right here.
The Wake Forest basketball team could use
those
it too.
guys.
Carolina could use Chance.
All of them could use up this threat. Wake Forest definitely needs somebody that can shoot on their team. All right, let's pick these scores one guy at a time. We're going to go spread two. Let's start with Terry. Patriots and Bengals. 10.5 points for the Patriots. What about the points?
They win by more than that little half a point to get.
All right, so Terry takes it. Let's go with Will. I got Bucks at Lions. Bucks favored by 4.5.
I'll take the Bucks.
What about the spread? They
I'll take it.
You take a straight up win.
That shootout they had in
They win by more than 4.5.
Yeah, that shootout they had in San Francisco earlier this year.
So he says take the Bucks across. All right. Shannon. Bears at Packers. Packers by 4.5. It's 15 degrees outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers. I'm gonna say they win by.
So Packers by more than 4.5. Dennis, Texans at Titans. Tennessee's favored at home. AFC South basically title game by 3. So basically pick 'em game.
I'm about to get started. Which Sean Watson's going to show up? The superstar, scrambling, throwing, super athlete, or somebody that doesn't do quite that well? I think the Tennessee Titan, Derrick Henry, is going to run over some people, and so I think the Titans cover.
Broncos. I am skipping Terry for this one because it's going to be unbiased. Will Broncos at Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 10. I can't let Terry pick against the Chiefs. He's picking to lose every game.
What?
I already know what the answer is going to be.
Chiefs.
By 10, go by 10? Or is Broncos too close? Broncos are top 10 defense.
They didn't show up one game.
They're 7th. Hold on. Their defense, let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th best defense in the NFL.
They showed up against, but I think Mahomes watched that game that they showed up against Deshaun on, and I think he's taking a little.
I understand. Dolphins at Giants. Giants favored by 3, and if you're in hell today, this is what you're watching on Sunday.
Is he not starting? Is he not starting?
For all you sitting out there, Dolphins and Giants are on all 40 screens.
I'm thinking Dolphins. I'm going with Dolphins. I don't know. Eli starting?
Yeah. Eli last start at home.
Dolphins.
Yeah. You picked him to lose his last start on that. Eli went by 30.
Yeah, so many
He'll show 500 yards Sunday. Every play, look up. 32 dimes. All right, guys, 5 wide, go. Eagles at Redskins, Dennis. Philly, favored by 5.5 on the road. Do they take over the NFC East from your former team, the Cowboys?
My former team, Cowboys, will be tied for first place with the Eagles.
Rob Root, that was not me that called them the Beagles. It was Dennis Davis. Just want to make sure that you heard that.
Terry, Seahawks come into Charlotte, favored by 6.5.
And I get this game?
At Packers.
It's punishment.
Seattle by 21.
They're going to blow them out. All right. Jaguars at Raiders, Will. Raiders by 6.5.
Raiders.
Are they going to cover?
6.5.
So
this is the last game in the black hole, Will.
All by bunch.
Yeah.
All right.
They go to Vegas next year.
Yeah, they go to Vegas next year, but this is the last game in the black hole. You talk about hyped up fans.
Yeah.
That's going to be the game.
Shannon, the in contention Cleveland Browns are in Arizona.
Did you say in
contention? They're favored by 3 in Arizona to get to 500 today. Hey, y'all laugh. If they win and Dallas loses, they're the only one at this table.
It's not a problem with that. It's not a problem with that, but that's the most disappointing.
Let me say something.
What are you talking about?
Let me say something before we pick this game.
Go ahead.
The Browns, your quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
He's feeling dangerous.
He was at Texas A&M with Cliff Kingsbury. He transferred to Oklahoma. Not just any school. He transferred to the worst rival, Oklahoma, because they had a young quarterback that came in, who's now the quarterback for Cliff Kingsbury at Arizona.
He's the tallest midget.
You know Baker.
Right.
You love Baker. You and Baker have similar traits. He's going to be, you know what, to Cliff Kingsbury and Kai, the quarterback over there. He's going to come in and he's going to wreck their world. Now you pick whoever you want to, Shannon.
I figured Arizona.
Go Dogs.
Arizona.
Go Dogs.
On the road, Arizona.
You not think that was the most disappointing team this year?
It's 2.
We weren't picked to win our division. Somebody else was.
We are in first.
They are. When did they division?
6 and 7 is pretty disappointing for a first place team, I would say.
All you got to do is make
You got to win the division. They was picked to win the division.
Rams are out of the playoffs right now after making the Super Bowl last year. It's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even make the playoffs. We're going to have the same records we did last year.
But
how's that disappointing?
Somebody, y'all loaded for bad.
Yeah, somebody said 16.
Y'all loaded for bad. Yeah, somebody did say 16 and 0.
Listen, the possibilities happen. See, according to Lewis Riddick, we're going to win our next 3. And then we're gonna be 9-7. According to ESPN, he picked us to beat the Cardinals, the Ravens, and the Bengals.
He also picked y'all to beat everybody else.
I also told them if you're going to do anything, you got to go through Pittsburgh, and they could not.
They couldn't come through Cleveland now.
You have to go through Pittsburgh.
They have
you
to
had
go
to go there and win, and you could tie them.
They won the fight,
What's
Terry.
Cleveland going to win?
They won the fight.
What does Pittsburgh win?
They did
Besides
win the
the
fight.
first round.
It's pretty good fight.
Shellacking. All right, we got to get through these real quick. Vikings and Chargers 1.5 wheel.
Yeah, but they did it. So the Pittsburgh did it without.
Vikings at Chargers.
The
1.5.
Pittsburgh did it without without a starting quarterback, and they doing it on their third string quarterback. So pick the Vikings.
If the Vikings had, if the Browns had Pittsburgh's coach, we probably have a better record.
And the next coach of the Panthers is the offensive coordinator for the Vikings.
Absolutely.
Shannon, Rams at Cowboys. Rams favored by 1.5.
In Dallas.
No, Cowboys. I got Cowboys.
Cowboys won straight up at home over the Rams trying to make a playoff spot.
Well, that scared me there because I didn't know the point spread was like 1.5.
Yeah, Rams
So
favored
they
by
thinking
1.5.
Dallas might probably gonna pull this one out.
Rams favored by 1.5 on the road.
Yeah.
Falcons, $1,100 in San Francisco. Dennis, there's your easy T1 up. Can the Falcons
This is
cover?
for Donnie Thurman, 49ers.
Can the Falcons cover? 11?
No.
No cover. Alright. No cover, so what's this? Alright, Mr. Steeler, you saw the Bills wax your Cowboys in Dallas. Bills and Steelers in Pittsburgh.
taking that salt out at all.
I don't
Stuffing
mind
that
this.
wound.
We saw the Bills go to Cleveland and lose, so you know they're gonna lose going to Pittsburgh.
Well, they didn't lose going to Dallas.
Well, we're 6 and 7, but we're still in
Oh,
first.
gotcha. All right, Dennis, you had it easy. Let's go back to that. We'll give you when Colts at Saints. Did the Colts pull it off?
Well, considering that they have an NC State quarterback and the Colts,
Bet again.
This will be
I'm
7
going for
and
the
7.
Saints.
I did hear a small rumor, or not here, I didn't hear, I read, of something the Cowboys could be thinking about, Terry. See your thoughts on this. Letting Dak walk and bringing in Andrew Luck was what I was reading. That could be a Jerry Jones.
He would have to go down.
I don't think bringing in an injured quarterback would be our best option. I mean,
Okay.
we had one and we let him go.
Now, here's the other conspiracy theory for Shannon and Dennis. Luck's father is on the board or running the XFL. So there's some people think
He
that
used to
he's-
run the world.
that he's. There's some people think that he's going to play for them to help get that league started.
No. Andrew is an architect by training. He's too smart. He's been injured. He came back. He tried to come back. Andrew Luck is done.
Yeah, he quit on his own.
All right, JP, break for break. When we come back, we got to talk high school football, folks. We got our top 10. We got our standings. We've got news and notes from Terry. We've got all kinds of opinions and other things to do today at Duke, the 1A, Northampton and Robbinsville at 3, Tarboro and East Surrey at 1AA. At BB&T Field in Wake Forest at 11 a.m. we'll have that game in Salisbury and Shelby. 3 p.m. Northeastern and Reedsville. 3 p.m. in Shelby, at NC State, Southern Nash and Charlotte Catholic. At 7 p.m. Lee County and Weddington.
Let's go Southern Nash.
And Chapel Hill at 11 a.m. the 4A, Cardinal Gibbons at East Forsyth and Leesville versus Vance in the 4AA. Guys, I came up, did a little fuzzy math last night for you guys. We're going to talk about it in just a minute. So, we're talking about expanding 4, 5, 6As, whatever maybe. Talk a little bit with Philip down there. They kind of separate them by how good they are. And I've always talked about it would be good maybe to figure out a way to do like we do in intramurals where, the good teams play in the league, the mediocre teams play in another league, and the teams are just having fun playing another league. So I went through and said, you know what, let's split this up. And we'll break it down after the break, but I just want to give you guys the tease. I split it up into 6As, okay? Currently there's about 200 teams that make the playoffs. The way I did it was 32 teams per A made the playoffs. It was 192, so I put about 20 teams in the playoffs.
No big and little, just straight.
All 6As. The way you qualified in these A's is strictly the max rankings. So the top 32 teams, you're in the 6A. The next 32 teams are in the 5A. The next 32 are in the 4A. The next 32, 3. And then I'm going to tell you who would be some first round matchups. Give you some ideas when we come back. Give you some ideas. But we'd obviously, once you did that, we would probably want to split them east-west, maybe for travel in the first 2 rounds. But after that, I mean, we traveled. Kings Mountain traveled all over the friggin' state anyway. The first 3 rounds. So
And
I'm not
Salisbury's
concerned
in the
with
east,
that too much.
So-
And Salisbury's in the east. Remember, Black was in the west, and Salisbury in the east for you map makers out there in North Carolina. So what I did was kind of, put them by levels, and we'll see how good these games might actually be. What y'all think? I just thought it'd be fun just to see what it might be.
So you just use max prep like that.
That's all I did, just straight back straight breaks. All right, JP, we'll be back in a minute. We'll talk more. We're going to break this out. I think it might be kind of fun. We'll see on KBC broadcast.
Since 1977, Shelby Heating and Air has been serving this area with products that Carrier Heating and Air Conditioning products. Turn to the experts. Turn to Carrier and Shelby Heating and Air. Plus, they service all brands and are accredited A+. Visit their website at shelbyheating.com. Just call 704-487-7877 for Shelby Heating and Air, voted Best Heating and Air Conditioning in Cleveland County, and a member of the Better Business Bureau.
The kickoff sales event is underway at Center Auto Sales in Shelby. The selection is absolutely unbelievable. No matter what you're looking for, you'll find it at Center Auto Sales in Shelby. See their selection of trucks, vans, and SUVs, plus Mercedes, BMWs, Hondas, Cadillacs, Chevrolets, Nissan, Ford, and more. They have a vehicle for every need, and financing is available. Check them out at Center Auto Sales, 417 South Post Road in Shelby. Become one of their satisfied customers today. Only at srautosales.com. For over 100 years, the Stanley Tysinger Funeral Home in Boston has been providing services to families of our community with care and compassion. And now the Stanley Funeral Home has added the Cremation Center along with a new name, the Stanley Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center. The Stanley Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center on Highway 182 in Boston, and the Stanley Funeral Home in Cherryville, located on Dixie Street in Cherryville, serving you with care and compassion in your time of need. Congratulations to the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County for being awarded the Transit System of the Year from the North Carolina Public Transportation Association. TAC is a fixed van service with 33 stops in and around Shelby, transporting the elderly and disabled residents of Cleveland County with safe, dependable transportation with professional drivers. All vans are ADA compliant with wheelchair lifts. For more information, call the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County at 704-482-6465.
For your automotive reupholstery needs, see Terry Barton at TSB Auto Trim. Terry can take care of your bug reupholstery. Actually, when it comes to reupholstery, Terry can do it all. From seat covers to flooring to headlights. You'll be looking good and back on the road in no time at all. So drop on by and tell Terry we
Last
TSB Auto Trim on Highway 180 north of Shelby. Call 704-482-5101. TSB Auto Trim.
All right, we're going to send you back to Ronaldo Auto Mall. So with Calvin and the gang, y'all over there? Oh, you know, I always show up. I'm like a callus. I always turn up.
Hey, we are at Ronaldo Auto Mall, Ronaldo Honda, and Ronaldo Ken wants you to come out and check out the deals they've got. They got some huge ones.
Hunter is wandering around waiting for us. And who is this guy?
All right, thank you, Calvin. Kevin, I believe I got y'all on, so y'all turn yours up. There we go. We're back. In black. Or in brown. Blue.
He's got all the stats and series on Friday. When he comes in on Saturdays, Cherry is upstanding. He knows more about football. He's got more about football. That's what I know. So Cherry, we bow humbly before you.
All hail to Lord Vader.
Minutes. We've got to get through our quick previews and everything real quick. Before the season started, our preseason power poll, this is from last year. It went 1 Shelby, 2 Huss, 3 Kings Mountain, 4 Bandies, 5 Crest, 6 South Point, 7 East Rutherford, 8 North Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, and 10 West Lincoln. That was last year's power poll, so we set that to start the season. Our group voted, because everybody says, let's have a voting poll to see how smart and genius we are. So here's our genius. Y'all ready? At number 1, we voted Kings Mountain. Currently in our poll, they're number 2. Not bad.
Well, they did beat Shelby.
At number 2, we voted Shelby. They're number 1 in our poll. At number 3, Crest. They're number 5.
They did beat Kings Mountain.
Now here's where we got a little weird. I would say South Point being picked 4th by our crew.
They know all about them rebels.
And they
South
did
Point
finish 4th in Gaston County.
And it's Gaston County. They finished 15th overall. They finished 4th in their division, actually.
Yeah, actually.
So it was Shelby, Burns, Chase, and South Point in their conference. So we picked
Chase beat
Chase beat South Point. West Lincoln beat South Point. Everybody and their brother beat South Point. They were 6-7 on the season. Is where they finished with a total of 5.
That's got to be a rate that, that's
one of the worst years ever. Probably I'm saying. Let's see. I have to call Pascal in just a second. What I want to get to. So this year, right now, in the power poll. So we had Huss at 5. They finished 4. Burns at 6. They finished 3. North Lincoln 7. Finished 6. And then we went Ashbrook, Kramer, and Lincoln at 8, 9, and 10. And they went 19, 20, and 21. So we were off 10 on those. We were off 11 on South Point. So we missed 4 of the top 6.
I think the overachiever was probably Burns.
This whole line missed our top 10 in our vote. Well, by our votes, Dennis, Burns 6-3. West Lincoln at 7 ended up this year. They didn't get the top 10 votes. I thought they would make our top 10 votes, but they didn't. Maiden, Chase. This was a big surprise. And of course, Thomas Jefferson slipped in there as well. The thing about the poll and how it works out, and I know I'll make some Shelby fans mad here, but if you lose today, Kings Mountain gets the number 1 spot. If you win, you're the champ. You'll have the same number of points. You're the champ. If you win the championship, you get the top spot. And don't go ahead, Will. You don't have enough points.
No.
And you got beat by
now, last year was different. We went out by the round.
No, that's a tiebreaker. It's kind of the same. You're looking at it right there. I didn't even have to give that to you. You can look at it. You're looking at last year's.
So you went out quarter to the round in the playoffs.
So while the poll's active, you stay in the poll and move up. Once the season's over, it reverts back to the points, and then the rounds are tiebreakers. You get more points in the playoff victory.
Fuzzy man.
You ready? You ready for this? For 2A victories, you get 3. Will.
Yeah.
And then in the playoffs, you don't lose any points.
Right.
Okay. So hey. Fuzzy math, if you were named the top 10 right now, what would you say? Would you not say Shelby, Kings Mountain, Burns, top 5 Shelby, Kings Mountain, Burns, Huss, and Crest? That's what we named before the season besides South Point.
I wouldn't put Huss.
That's pretty close.
I wouldn't put Huss. I put Shelby, Kings Mountain, Burns, Crest, and then I would say West Lincoln.
And we should be.
I would say West
4th.
Lincoln.
You should be in front of North Lincoln too.
We should be
North Lincoln would be in.
We should
So,
be.
so Terry thinks West should be in front of Crest and Hunter Huss.
We'll be happy to schedule West Lincoln. Terry contact.
Hey, Coach Hunter, if you're out there, I know I talked to you Wednesday and was begging for that hot dog seller Burns and West Lincoln. I do wish you. I hope you're listening. Can we schedule a Cleveland County matchup in the regular season Can you talk to you guys over there? Can talk to Coach Bells over there at North Lincoln. Let's just get these games. So we can see 'em.
It's prior
Cleveland County and Lincoln County, Jim.
We'll see you senior.
Who's the senior?
Okay, we'll go play.
Well, how about North Lincoln?
Alright.
North Lincoln Shelby.
All right, guys. We've got okay. Real quick, I'm gonna skip over the standings. We'll do that later. Shelby plays at 11. We're going to there about 10:35, folks. We're gonna send it up to Jeff and Brent here in a few minutes. Real quick, I want this for splitting it up based on Max Prep rankings. Here's some matchups. In the 6A, Shelby at 7 would be the 7 overall seed in the state of North Carolina. They would host East Surrey in the first round.
Ooh.
Catholic at 8 would host 25 Huff.
You said 6A?
This is the 6A. Kings Mountain at 12 would host Wake Forest. And Huss would go to Vance, who they played earlier this year in the regular season. They got smoked by them, but they did play them. So there's your 6A. In the 5A, Burns would get the 3 seed and host Hope County. The 11 seed would be North Lincoln, and they would host Sanford. And the 20 seed would be Crest, and you would be going to Davie County in round 1.
We played them.
In the 4A, it would be West Lincoln at Ragsdale. West Lincoln would have the 26th seed. The 29th seed would be Forest View at Clinton Dark Horses. In the 3A, now here's where you start matching up some of our teams. You talk about where they are in rankings and levels. We get matched up pretty good right here. In the 3A, Mountain Island, get this, guys, in the first round, based on my stuff, will be hosting Thomas Jefferson.
They play conference.
Yes. Maiden will be hosting Gardner Magnet. Newton Conover, now this would be one, Terry, at Hoggard. Newton Conover at Hoggard.
Road trip.
South Point would be going to Greensboro Page out of the 3A. In the 2A, it would be number 1 East Lincoln would have the number 1 overall seed. They would host Ledford. And Chase, the 11th seed, would be hosting South Iredale. And the only 1A school would be Ashbrook. They would be the 4th seed in 1A. Here's the teams that did not make the playoffs here in our area, and check the stats to see if only one of these teams, by my count, actually made the playoffs, I think. Maybe 2. Maybe RS. The RS Central made the playoffs. Bandy's, RS Central at 3 now. Kramer, Bessemer, East Rutherford, Lincoln, and East Gaston, Cherryville, and Highland Tech would not make the playoffs in my scenario. So that's just the little fun on that. Just something to think about. Should you rank them by something like that? All right, guys. We've got 10 minutes. I'm going to go down the hall and get the guys set up. You guys talk Shelby and Salisbury coming up at 11 kickoff, 10:35 right now. Shannon, I'll let you start off. How's the Shelby going lines and where are we at right now as we head on into this championship game?
I think they're in really good shape. I know they're healthy coming in. And you guys know as well as I do, Shelby is built for a championship run this year. They've got, and we always talk about how good they are on offense, but then as you mentioned a while ago, as good as they are on offense, their defense is probably just as good, if not better.
I think that's what's going to surprise people who haven't seen Shelby play at this level. They could rely on their defense to win this game.
Absolutely.
But their offense is what will win it for them.
Yeah, their offense and they've got 3 receivers, Jahari Mitchell, Giovanni Daly, and Camardi Husky, that are as good of a trio that you will find, I believe, in our area, if not in the state.
It's the most dangerous player in their own mind, because everybody's seen Daly, everybody's seen Jahari.
Yeah.
The most dangerous player in that trio you mentioned is Husky, because if you've never seen it, he's blazing fast.
Oh, he's fast.
He's blazing fast, and if he goes up, he'll go get it.
And see, the thing is, Mitchell, Jahari, he's the one he scored 5 against last week.
Right.
5 touchdowns. I think he may have had that many against Crest. I don't remember, but he's getting all the press. And if they double team him, that's going to happen.
You just named it, Shannon, right there. I'm opposing coach. I've just got one game film to look at, and so I'm going to shut down this guy. Well, there's 3 other guys that can beat you.
Yeah.
You don't have enough athletes to cover them.
Right.
That's the key to Shelby. They can beat you left, right, in the middle, over the top, underneath. It's coming. You just don't know where.
The only problem I ever see and stuff like that, and like I said, I haven't watched Salisbury except a few game little things, but when Lincoln had to play Clinton, everybody thought Lincoln was so fast, but Clinton matched up man for man and stayed with everybody that Lincoln could throw out there. Shelby's a different animal to me because when they step out there are people everywhere, and you have to match up player for player for player. And I don't think Salisbury has enough athletes that they can stick in a game to keep up with them. But it's got to go back to a scenario like that when Lincoln had played Clinton. And Lincoln had so much speed, but Clinton was able to match man for man and stay with every one of them.
Well, Terry, let's make it a little more current. West Lincoln, great year, great effort, good players, solid. They went over to Shelby this year. I don't know, maybe you heard around the school after the game was over, the comments of some of the West Lincoln guys. Man, we've probably never seen that kind of speed when we played some other teams.
Coach Ponder, first thing he said, he's been at Burns when Coach Bean was up there and helped him. He went to Newton and helped over there when Bean was over there. Then he come to West Lincoln. And out of all the times that he had faced a Shelby team, even including the team back in 2016, but he said he's never seen a team that was so athletic in every position as this team was. You know, and he said this is the best Shelby team that he's ever seen. So
he said Wednesday he called in the show. We're talking to Coach Ponder, and he said that they were so from the fundamentals of just the game and their technique was so on cue that's what got them called up a little bit.
What, fellas, Shannon, maybe you can answer this. You know, we used to say it was the coaching continuity at Shelby because the guys started in the 8th grade and the midgets and all that, and you had that same head coach for all those years. But it seems like now, you go back and you look at the coaches could come in their first year and win a state championship. And Coach Wilbanks was assistant for probably 10 years, and now he's the head coach, and he's probably going to win a state championship in his first year. What do you attribute the total success of Shelby football through the years? What do you put your thumb on it there? What's causing that?
I think it's the tradition part. I think that, as you said, Wilbanks will probably win it this year, and it's not because of what he's done this year. I think it's what Lance Ware put in place for him to take over the past 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And I think for Lance to be successful, what Chris Norman put in place. And it's just the tradition part of it. And two, being you guys from Crest, you know this as well as I do. When you put on that Charger uniform, when you put on that gold helmet at Shelby, you're expected.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not maybe we're going to win this year. Right. You're expected to win, and I think the kids feed off that. I think the community feeds off that, but especially the coaches. I think they know going in. Yeah, we have to work at it, but the kids know what we expect.
Well, it's like there's been years in the past when Shelby was maybe not as talented as they are this year, and they beat Kings Mountain, Crest, and Burn. And there's years Crest has had some down years, you know, that talent cycle, and they'd go to Shelby and maybe beat them, or they'd come to Crest and they'd beat them. It's like you said, it's the expectations. We're born and bred to win in Cleveland County. Doesn't matter where you go to school, you're born and bred. I'm glad to see Burns come back to that because they sort of took a little recess from that. But now they're back, had a great year, did well for themselves. Kings Mountain, the only school in the conference in the county not to win a state championship, but one of the best teams this year.
Yeah, boy, absolutely.
And those kids at Kings Mountain, Coach Lloyd, they've got that program on the right track. It won't be long before they're winning championships as well.
I agree with that, and just let's step. I know we're talking Cleveland County, but I'm going to mention Lincoln County. With Coach Ponder at West Lincoln and then Basil at North Lincoln. They're putting together something now that these kids are saying, hey, okay, we've got something now we can start building on as well.
Yeah.
And we have an expectation coming in here that when we get to high school, when we get to North Lincoln, we get to West Lincoln, even West Lincoln, when we get there, we're expected to win. We're put on a standard. This is where we have to reach. And if we can't get there, somebody else is going to get there. They're gonna find somebody, and I think we've got a lot of good coaches in this area, and you gotta have athletes.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of good coaches in this area that know who to put into place, put in the best position for their team to be successful.
And West Lincoln was one of those teams. When they come into this year, they were athletes in the school who had not played. They either played basketball, baseball, etc. that went out for football this year.
But next year, when they call for young men to come out for football, Terry, you'll see a great increase. I remember I talked earlier about David Thompson going to Crest. Shannon, after David Thompson left and I came in coaching, I didn't get a chance to coach him in high school, but when he came in, we would have 100+ kids come out for basketball because of that winning tradition. They saw it and they wanted to be a part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's what you're going to have at West, next year, Terry. You're going to have a bunch of kids come out that you knew and saw in the hallways at school. You never knew they played football, but they're going to show up for practice
They
next
want to
year.
be a part of it.
That's the success at Shelby. You go to Shelby High School and you don't play football. What do?
Yeah, people look at it like, why aren't you playing?
Yeah.
Why don't you play?
And coming into these championships, y'all, coming into today, there's 4 teams if you're going to pull 4 that have never been to a state championship. Cardinal Gibbons, Lee County, Leesville Road, and Southern Nash. But as far as everybody else, there's 5 teams who have been to 10 or more state championships since 1972. Charlotte Catholic,
And
Robbinsville, Shelby, Tarboro.
Terry,
and,
splitting it up the
Reach.
way I was kind of talking about, would that alleviate some of that chalk per se? You know what I mean? Then that some of these teams would be playing each other. Would it improve what we see on the football field? Would it improve scouting to where other teams in other states and colleges are like, well, I'm going to see the 6A, these games in the 6A tournament. These games are going to be amazing to watch.
It's got to be, and I hate to say this, we got to look in the South Carolina district of what they do. The Big 16, that's your big time schools, Northeastern, Gaffney, Dutch Fork. You throw them all in there, Dorman. Last week's championship between Dutch Fork and Dorman was tied and it went into overtime, and one heck of a pass from their quarterback to a wide receiver that caught it with hands coming in, almost like Amari Cooper catch on the sideline to win the game. But that's what you got to look at. It's got to be your elite schools in that 6A, and then you drop down from there.
But they have that somewhat now, Kevin. You go to Charlotte Mecklenburg in the 4A.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Vance. Vance won out. And who did they beat? Where's Mallard Creek? Where's Butler? Where's Richmond County? Myers Park. All these preseason elites. And Vance just goes in there and says, hey, we're playing one at a time.
Yeah. And then who they going to play on the other end of Leesville Road who defeated Wake Forest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who is another elite.
Another elite,
Vance is,
Vance is a 10 seed.
That's what I was going to say. I was just going to say that I had called Kings Mountain the best 10 seed that played, but Vance
is it now.
Vance is it now. They're the perennial Road Warriors. They won every game at somebody else's stadium to get to the state.
Hey, they're the number 1 overall ranked team in the state of North Carolina.
But Kevin,
in Max Preps. And they're a 10 seed in the East, or what are they? Is that East? West.
to project on Kevin's things, I think we should have a classification for charter schools and parochial schools. And they should play in a division. Cardinal Gibbons would be playing Charlotte Catholic, today.
Yeah.
But
It'd be a great game.
yeah, it'd be a great game. But Charlotte Catholic playing Kings Mountain, is that an unfair advantage to Charlotte Catholic? Because they got a 25-mile radius.
It wasn't.
Here's
It
the
was.
question.
The problem with that is King, even though they had that 25-mile radius that they could go and recruit from and pull people in that school, Kings Mountain gave them everything they asked for and lost the game on their own.
Yeah. And think of it, y'all talking about Cardinal Gibbons, and I understand that's one of those schools that we don't like talking about. But they play in East Forsyth today. East Forsyth's unbeaten in state terms. They're 2-0. Can Cardinal Gibbons play with them? First time there, playing a team that has never lost.
And that's
there.
always a disadvantage to be the first time, because the
All right, JP.
lights are a little brighter. And you get those kids, like Kevin was saying earlier, you get them in Chapel Hill, in Keenan Stadium, or over at NC State. You know, they're going, wow. And they're
game up about to start.
5,000 people, and it's in one section.
Yeah.
One little section over there, and it looks like there's nobody here. And if they were playing at their home field, it'd be, man, we're packed out tonight, standing room only.
But when you look at today's games, I know Robbinsville's coming in for their 16th appearance since 1972. They're 13-2 overall in there. Shelby's coming in for their 15th. They're 10-4.
Well, Shelby and Statesville, I give credit to Shelby today because of experience. I mean, Statesville's not a bad team. They're undefeated. Yeah. But Shelby, advantage Shelby. Been there, done that, gonna do it.
I agree.
Hey, one more thing too. Congratulations to Nick Evans, Big South Coach of the Year for the press.
Yeah,
it was a great honor.
thanks.
I want to say that.
And if you're watching online, we're switching over to Shelby right now. If you're listening on the radio, you're listening to the Golden Lions and Shelby. We're actually playing our video on the state championships. Everybody that's watching it online right now, there's 31 folks signed in now watching us lay the rap down.
Did I see Terry rapping?
Terry was rapping, Shannon was rapping, Will was rapping, Dennis, myself, JP, Tom, Peyton. You ain't seen the full video yet, have you, Shannon? You missed it the other night, but we had a good night. So we're sitting out to they're playing the lead-in music right now. They're going to give us some commercials. Real quick, picks.
7.
How many? What's the score?
Bunch. Landslide.
Terry.
I got Shelby 48-14.
I'm in that same neighborhood. Terry.
I got Shelby 42-7.
I'll take Shelby 48-14. Sounds good to me.
Well, I want to thank every single one of y'all for everything y'all did this year. Dennis and Will, y'all did a great job with the post game of the show. I said something about the other night when I wasn't there. I needed to be at Kings Mountain this year for a lot of stuff. We went on the road. If we'd have been at home, I probably would have been here for all of them. I wouldn't have had to go. Because when you go to these road places, you never know the setup. You never know, what you're going to be doing, the internet, and all that stuff. But you guys did a wonderful job with an auto.
Kevin, and a quick comment. KTC Broadcasting, how much they do for high school football in North Carolina, not just this area, but in North Carolina. And, you guys are great to work for. Great banquet the other night, great prizes. We appreciate it. Thanks to you and your mom and Calvin for all that you do for us so that we can do for high school football.
Well, thank you guys. And Shannon and Terry work hard on the pregame show. I'm never hearing for that. But you guys do a great job on that, and I thank you guys. If it wasn't for y'all, we got to get the information out to these fans and folks, and they love it. And you guys do a little extra, just besides just doing the games. A lot of these companies do. All right, we got to go. That's it for us, JP. Sign us off. KTCBroadcast.com. We're sitting up. No, they're not NC State this year. They're rolling this year. I'm used to going to NC State. They're rolling this year. I mean, with Wake Forest this year, state championship Shelby versus Salisbury. KTC Broadcast.
All right, that was Kevin the Game. Let's have any more sports talk. Finishing the pregame show, we're going to head over now to. I think where are we at? We're somewhere in the. We're going to the championship. I don't know exactly where they're at, honestly, being honest, but we're going to head over to them. They should be coming on very soon. We're live, so we'll send it over to them.